Wildcat fans, it's time to lock in. The Bethune-Cookman Wildcats are in Hotlanta for the 2025 Starry SWAC Men and Women's Basketball Tournament. The stakes, a ticket to the big dance. The best of the SWAC are battling it out at the Gateway Center Arena, and your Wildcats are ready to roll. Can they punch their ticket to the Field of 68 in the NCAA Tournament? Tip-off is now, bringing you every fast break.
Down the other end, Thomas puts it up and in.
Every clutch three.
Martin for three!
And every slam dunk. Here's the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Torello, live on WELE 1380 The Cat and the CatEye Radio Network. Hail Wildcats!
364 days ago, the Wildcat men's basketball team stands on the very same precipice that they do tonight. The semifinals of the SWAC basketball tournament with a chance for the first time ever to punch their ticket to the SWAC finals. Last year, it didn't go our way as eventual champions Grambling State ran out to a huge lead early, a lead that the Wildcats could not recover from. The Wildcats have had the hardest road possible to get to this point through the SWAC tournament. The first round, they had to beat Alcorn State, who beat us twice in the regular season. And now, in the semifinals, we get Jackson State, who beat us twice in the regular season. The only two teams to sweep the Wildcats in the regular season we get in the tournament, responsible for 4 of the 5 losses for Bethune-Cookman in regular season competition this year. Live from the Gateway Center Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Bethune-Cookman men's basketball here on the CatEye Radio Network at 1380 WELE, along with producer Lee Gilliam and analyst Sabrina Petit-Holm. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company live from courtside as the Wildcats look to take down Jackson State for the first time in 2 years and head to the finals where Alabama State is waiting after upsetting Grambling earlier today. Sabrina, let's not waste any time. It's time for those Southeast Toyota dealers' keys to the game.
Keys to the game, and the first one goes out to BCU men's basketball team. Rebound, rebound, and rebound again. Draw those fouls, protect the paint, and force second chance points. That will be able to help the BCU Wildcats prevail to the end of the game. Second one goes out to JSU, and that is Feed the Beast. JSU has 5 players that averages about 10 points per game. They have to flirt with the idea on who's on fire and feed them the ball.
Somebody sitting beside you or just y'all two?
Our SID is sitting here. Yeah, yeah. Those were your Southeast Toyota dealers' keys to the game.
At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for $389 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through February 3rd, 2025. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $36.88 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax tag registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
This afternoon, before warm-ups, I got a chance to sit down with Seneca Willoughby, Bethune-Cookman point guard, to talk about tonight's matchup against Jackson State. I'm here with Seneca Willoughby before the Wildcats take on Jackson State in the SWAC semifinal. Seneca, let's talk about last night's game against Alcorn State. Alcorn's been a bit of a bugaboo for you guys the last couple years. Just can't seem to get past them. But when it mattered most, you led most of the game and got past Alcorn State. Run me through last night.
You know, once you get to the tournament, like Coach says, it's 3 seasons to the season. So knowing that, I mean, everyone started off 0-0. So we forgot about those games. We learned from them and took the good from it and the bad, and then we just focused together as a team and just to get the job done. We all know what the goal is, so that's the goal.
As the season's progressed, you've transitioned from maybe a 3-and-D type player to someone who's going to share the ball. You lead the team in assists. Was that a conscious decision by you and the coaching staff, or did it sort of gradually come by as the season went on?
My whole life I've really been a pass-first guy. I mean, I'm a type of player that likes to win, so wherever coach need me, if I got to play the 5 in one game or whatever he needs, I know we have a lot of scorers with Breon and Trey, and Dan is good scoring, so whatever it takes for the team to win.
Talk about Jackson State. the other team that beat you twice this season. It's been a tough road in this playoffs. In those 2 games, what have you seen against Jackson State that maybe you can flip the script tonight?
I feel if we slow the game down and go against their half court, I like us a lot. I mean, with Dan, they do have another big man that is good, but I still always go with my 5 at the end of the day. And also, just limit our turnovers. We play our game and play our style of play. I like us against everybody.
Thank you, Seneca. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate you.
The thing that stands out to me the most from that interview, Sabrina, is if we play the half-court sets, we'll win the game. What is he trying to say with that answer?
Honestly, just listening to Seneca speak on the pregame show, it just shows to me that they was watching film, knowing that JSU is most likely to press the Wildcats during the entire game. So we want to go ahead and make sure that they are cutting off the half-court press and we continue to do what they need to do to prevail at the end.
Starting lineups are being introduced on the floor right now. Bethune-Cookman will go with the same starters as last night. Trey Thomas, Seneca Willoughby, Khalil Kamara, Jesus Caballero-Martin, and Daniel Ruzon. The Wildcats in the all-black tonight. Gold numbers with a maroon trim. BCU, the letter mark on the pants. While Bethune above the numbers in gold, Cookman below the numbers also in gold. For Jackson State, whose hype video is being played right now, they're the all-white tonight. A red striped twin in blue on the collar, the sleeves, and down the side of the pants. Jackson State in block letters in blue above the numbers, who are also in navy blue. Sabrina, it's going to be tough tonight. This Jackson State team can score. You mentioned in your Southeast Toyota dealers keys to the game that they've got 5 players averaging in double digits. Those players are Ruffin with 15.6, Grant with 11, McMillan with 10.5, Menzel with 10.4, and Mitchell with 10.3. Any one of those guys can go off and beat you on any given night.
Absolutely. Now, we was at the last game yesterday against Alcorn, and it kind of seems like it was an easy transition, and we won knowing that we didn't do our best these past 2 games in the regular season. But I also don't want Jackson State to easily count out the Wildcats as well. Just like how Seneca had already spoke about in the pregame, that they forgot about those games. They took the good and bad and used them to get to the playoffs and prevail to the end. And this is something that we need to continue to work on. Although Shannon Grant, massive guy, he's going to be down there in the paint along with those other players that you said that averages about 10 points per game. These second shots are truly going to be important and the test of time. Not going to be an easy fight, but we definitely need to be able to keep the foot on the brakes. Start slow, run the plays, attack the paint, like we said before. They will try to speed the game up over and over again, and this is something that we don't want.
Deshaun Ruffin, of course, the big danger man for Jackson State, leads the SWAC in free throw percentage, dangerous when he gets to the line. Also leads this team in points per game, 15.5. The 4-star prospect, number 1 prospect in the state of Mississippi back a couple years ago out of Callaway High School. Started at Ole Miss, didn't play much in his first 2 college seasons. Left to work on his mental health, ended up at Jackson State, didn't play last year with an injury. This year he is lighting up the SWAC. He is the first and only McDonald's All-American to be playing in the SWAC this season. And, I mean, he's shown it so far this year. Missed the first part of the season with that injury as well. Came on during conference play and has really lit it up. I mentioned 15.5 points per game. For the Wildcats, they're led by their dynamic guard duo, Trey Thomas and Breon Freeman. Freeman starts on the bench again after dropping 19 off the bench last night. I think rotating through the guys is going to be important, especially on a back-to-back like this. The Wildcats, again, only 8 players available right now. They haven't had to play a true back-to-back all season with that depleted roster. We'll see if in the second half they start to fade away or they can keep that intensity up all game.
Absolutely. We got to continue to make sure, keep those legs fresh,
The official starting lineup for Jackson State is as follows. The freshman guard, Dorian McMillian out of Pascagoula, Mississippi. The junior guard, Kevion Hunt out of Jackson, Mississippi. The senior forward, Shannon Grant out of Sauguga, Alabama. The senior forward, Ramel Mansell out of Los Angeles, California. And the junior guard out of Jackson, Mississippi, Deshaun Ruffin. The Wildcats will go right to left in front of us here at the media table in the all-black. Jackson State going left to right in this first half. It'll be Romel Mansell to jump it up at center court against Daniel Ruzon. Nice crowd in here tonight, mostly wearing blue and red, but there's a healthy contingent of maroon and gold fans behind the visiting bench across the way from us. The referee has the ball in his hands. We are just about to get this semifinal underway. Hello to the booth cam here on the CatEye Network on YouTube. We'll get that in a second. There it is. There's the booth cam. Hello, everybody. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on 1380 WELE, stick around. A great night of hoops ahead. Jackson State wins the tip. They attack the basket to listeners, right? And we are underway. It'll be Kevion Hunt to control the basketball. To McMillan on the high post. Right wing side to McMillian. Back to Mansell. Sizes up Ruzon. Goes at Ruzon. Spin move. Floater. Too strong. Rebound Ruzon. And the Wildcats defend successfully the first Jackson State attack. Half a minute gone by here in the first half. Off an elevator screen. The ball is lost out of bounds by Khalil Kamara. Give it right back to Jackson State. The Wildcats turned the ball over only 9 times on Thursday night. And it was a big reason why they were able to keep Alcorn State at bay. Can't turn the ball over against a team that scores as much as Jackson State. 71.9 points per game for Jackson State. Floated in the paint for Mansell again. This time he makes the catch, goes up and under, and scores against Martine.
What we're going to be able to see this entire game is a transition between Grant and Mansell, sorry.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to see a transition from post to top to post all game.
Trey Thomas out on top. He takes a long three, splashes it down in the face of Deshaun Ruffin. 3-2 Cats.
This is definitely going to be a tough game. We cannot always rely on those threes. Yes, they're going to fall, but we are not a three-point team.
Wildcats hit 10 threes last night against Alcorn State in the 69-60 win. Into the right-hand corner, stepping into a long two, missing it off the rim is Dorian McMillan. Wildcats have it. Seneca Willoughby throws it up. Ruzon all the way. Oh, he got it blocked. He went up for the two-hand jam. It was blocked from behind by Grant. The Wildcats come up empty in transition. On the baseline, here's Kevion Hunt, guarded by Martine. No look pass, right-hand corner. No three-pointer coming. It's a battle between Thomas and Ruffin. Ruffin spins past Thomas to the free throw line, picks up a dribble, up and under, off the backboard, no good. Shannon Grant the rebound. He's battling down low, puts it up, no good. Another rebound is batted out. Jackson State continues to control. Shovel back, left-hand corner. Here's Ruffin. Down low to Mansell. He's guarded by Martine. Mansell almost lost the ball, got it back. Puts it up and good over Martine with the left-hand hook shot.
This has to be the most top-tier defense that we need to be able to see from the Wildcats. They have to find it and pull it out today.
Everything that Jackson State has gone to has been in the paint so far.
Absolutely, and just like how we said earlier before, they're going to switch off.
Martine against Mansell, throws it down low. Ruzon, hook shot, up and in.
This is going to be the battle of the post this game. Ruzon and I'm so sorry, Martine, they're definitely going to be that duo that we're going to need, most likely to have the points that we're going to have as well, too.
Jackson State right in front of us here at the meeting table and backing the basket to listeners left. It's McMillan. Dumps it down to Mansell at the free throw line. Sizing up Martine, goes right at Carolero, misses off the window, rebound Seneca.
If they're smart, JSU smart, it's not working, but they're going to keep trying to force it down there. They need to be able to throw it at the top of the key, forcing them to take three-point shots.
Around the screen, pick and roll, finds Martine. Extra pass, back to Martine on the left-hand wing. Martine drives into the paint, goes right at Grant, throws it up, no good, no foul. Great defense by Shannon Grant. And Jackson State comes away with it down 5-4, and then Khalil Kamara forces a turnover as he forces Ruffin to dribble it out of bounds on the breakout.
I haven't seen the Wildcats play so quietly this entire place. Usually they have energy, but they're so locked in. It's quite amazing to see.
And something that Coach Thea said to me on the postgame show last night, he says, we always have Khalil Kamara guarding their best scorer, but it hasn't happened so far tonight. They've got Thomas on Mansell. Here's Willoughby, plays the pick and pop with Martine. Ruzon straight on three. Oh, it's good! Daniel Ruzon, the big man, drains the triple.
It's going to be a shooting game.
8-4, Bethune-Cookman, 16 and a half to go first half. The Wildcats have hit 2 threes, one from Thomas, one from Ruzon.
I think JSU really underestimated.
Open three for Ruffin off a pick and pop is good. And it's 8-7, Bethune-Cookman. Ruffin, his first points of the ball game. Mansell had their previous 4. 16-10 to go. Willoughby around the Ruzon screen, gets into the paint, kicks it out. Thomas drives in, throws up a wild floater, misses everything. Batted around, Kamara on the floor. That fighting for it. It is going to be loose on the ground and picked up by Shannon Grant. Here comes Jackson State. Ruzon trying to pick up McMillan, full court. Now back off as the Wildcats reset, up 8-7. Jackson State with the ball, 15:45 to go in the first half. Right hand baseline. Here's Mansell guarded by Martine. Mansell pounding with the right hand against the floor. He goes back to Kevion Hunt at the top of the key. Hunt drives in, floater no good, but a foul is called. And that'll take us to our first media timeout. Wildcats up 8-7, but Jackson State will be at the free throw line when we come back. This is Bethune-Cookman University basketball on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE. Back at the Gateway Center Arena at the first media timeout of the first half. It's Bethune-Cookman 8, Jackson State 7. But the Tigers will be going to the free throw line after this media timeout. Do you love Bethune-Cookman University sports? Of course you do. Then don't miss Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs. Hosted by voice of the Wildcats, Michael Toretto, and featuring the expertise of sports information directors Bryce Ranoski and Brian Harvey. Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune in to 1380 WELE every Saturday to catch the show live. Or listen anytime on your favorite podcast platform. No Hail Wildcats Radio this week because Bryce and I are here. Yeah. Brian's back in Daytona Beach handling all things baseball and softball. But next week, we'll get back with you and recap all the happenings around BCU athletics, especially here at the SWAC tournament. It will be Kevion Hunt, the junior guard out of Jackson, Mississippi, the team leader in steals for Jackson State, to head to the free throw line here at the beginning of the second phase of play on the season. He's an 81% free throw shooter, shooting right into the BCU Marching Wildcats to our right. He puts the first one up and in. This Jackson State team is unbelievable at free throws. They're first in the league as a team, 72.7. They've got so many players at 80+%. We cannot afford to send them to the line tonight.
Absolutely. Something that I have picked up early in the game, and we're 15 minutes left into the game. JSU, they have been attacking the paint, but BCU has been able to use a great defense for some denials that they had to push it out to Mansell. I think the matchup is pretty good right now so far.
Both were good. 9-8 Jackson State. Willoughby on the left baseline, hands it off to Ruzon. Ruzon facing down Grant, looking for an opening. Cross-court pass into the corner. Thomas, catch and shoot three. Too strong. Rebound is batted out of bounds. It will stay with the Wildcats. That was a nice job by Khalil Kamara to keep that ball on the side of the Wildcats. He'll trigger the inbound under the basket that they attack to listeners left. 15-11 to go first half. Wildcats down 9-8. Ruzon pulls up from a mid-range jumper, in and out, and the rebound is pulled down by Jackson State. Here comes Deshaun Ruffin, averaging 15.5 points per game. He's got 3 so far tonight. And it's 9-8 Jackson State. Tigers on the ball. Between the circles, backdoor cut for Ruffin. They try to throw it back to Mansell. It's batted away by Martine. It'll stay with Jackson State. Martine got a touch as it rolled out of bounds. 11 to shoot for Jackson State on this possession.
The Wildcats have been going crazy so far with the defense. This is something that I'm actually really happy to see. We haven't been seeing a lot of this. It's been in and out. Brayon, who is so far entering the game right now, this is probably going to change the trajectory of how the game is going to go. Especially
on offense for the Wildcats, who struggle to find anything in the paint.
Absolutely. He's going to be able to help us find the answers as well, too.
Deshaun Ruffin, guarded by the longer Martine, tries to go past Martine, stops inside the free throw line, lost the ball, picked up by Kamara. He throws it to Brayon Freeman. Freeman across half court. He drives in, left hand, up, and good with a mid-range jump shot.
It's like when Brayon comes inside or he checks in the game, he has this fire that
he's dancing coming back down the floor. He is fired up.
I'm telling you.
10-9 Bethune-Cookman, 14-20 to go first half. Khalil Kamara goes down through heavy contact, no whistle. Back on top, wide open 3 for Hunt. He attacks the closeout, goes all the way in, layup no good, rebound Martine. Martine draws the foul on Mansell.
One thing about it, Jesus always finds those fouls. They always try to touch him like he's soft. He's not soft. That's our Swiss Army knife. The Spain Swiss Army knife, as you said, Mike.
And I mean, that's Martine boxing out a guy that's on paper 3 inches taller than him with the big afro that Mansell's got, maybe 5 inches taller.
But one thing about it, he's not going to back down from a fight.
Trey Thomas works the ball across the time stripe. 14 minutes to go first half. Wildcats up 10-9. Brayon Freeman makes the catch, hands back to Thomas between the circles. Martine controls against Mansell, gets double teamed. Back to Thomas. Thomas drives left, gets all the way in, goes with a left-hand layup, no good, just off the front of the rim. Rebound to Jamie Mitchell Jr., who's just checked in for Jackson State.
I think if he drove in just a little bit more, it would have been a came in because it nearly skimmed the top of the rim.
And it's hard with both Mansell and Grant guarding the paint. Mansell's got the ball right now in the high post left-hand side of the lane. Hands back on the wing to Kevion Hunt.
And we talk about that switch that they have been doing.
Down low to Grant. He's matched up against Ruzon. Dribbled it off his foot, lost the ball. Kamara in transition, ahead of everybody, goes to the rim, throws it down! One-handed tomahawk down!
The Wildcats are hungry, and they're hunting the Tigers right now. It's amazing to see. 9-12.
Welcome to the ball game, Khalil Kamara. 13 minutes to go in the first half. 12-9 Wildcats. A lot of people are standing up in front of me. I can't really see right now.
I think that's young Jock that's right in front of us.
Driving to the lane and getting fouled is Kevion Hunt, so he'll go back to the free throw line after, I believe, another media timeout, as we've got the under 14. Coach Theus not happy about that.
Now we got to be careful.
Nope, not immediate timeout. The referees are beckoning everybody back to the free throw line.
Oh. Now, to get back to my point, we have to be careful on these fouls. We reiterated early before, we don't have a deep bench, so it's really important that we stay out of trouble.
That was the first foul on Khalil Kamara, as Kevion Hunt, whose first 2 points came from the free throw line, gets his third from the free throw line. Hunt also played at Callaway High School, same as Deshaun Ruffin in Jackson, Mississippi. Started at Alabama State and then continued the last 2 seasons at Jackson State. So it's a career SWAC player, Kevion Hunt.
David Onanina, who has checked in for Daniel Ruzan. Something that I am going to be paying very close attention is to the footwork.
Second free throw good. Hunt is 4 of 4 from the charity stripe, and it's 12-11 Wildcats with 12:56 to go in the first half. Brayon Freeman controls the rock. He's picked up full court by Hunt. Walks across the time stripe, 20 on the shot clock. Freeman left-hand dribble, hands to Thomas, and then on the left-hand corner, here's Kamara. Kamara creates his own shot, pulls up, and misses long. Rebound to Mansell. Hunt trying to push it in transition. Freeman on his back, throws it underneath the basket, and Ruffin's there for the layup.
Almost a steal from Khalil to redeem himself from that missed three-pointer that he did have.
4 quick points for the Tigers gives Jackson State the lead back 13-12. 12:25 to go first half. Freeman to Thomas at the top. Thomas Splits a double team. Extra pass into the corner. Kamara, catch and shoot triple. Just too strong.
No rebound. That's 2 so far. Yet nobody has been
And then nobody getting back in transition. Hunt all the way. Great defense by Martin, who got back and swatted the shots. Freeman pulls up in transition the other way. No good, too strong. Martin taps the rebound out of bounds. I mean, the Wildcats are just playing street ball right now.
Yep, and this is why there's a timeout. It's absolutely needed. We're just throwing up three-point shots. That is 3, 6, 9 points that has been attested on the three-point lane, and nothing has failed. Go back to what you guys have been doing. Driving inside the lane, going for those two-pointers, getting fouls, because it's not working for us.
The Wildcats just 2 of 7 from 3 on the night. Jackson State's only attempted 1 and hit it. Media timeout here at the 12-minute mark. It's Jackson State 13, Bethune-Cookman 12. This is Bethune-Cookman University basketball on the CatEye Radio Network at 1380 WELE. Spring football is nearly here. Don't miss your chance to get a first look at the 2025 edition of Bethune-Cookman football at the annual spring game. Admission is free at Daytona Stadium Saturday, April 12th, with the game set to start at 1 p.m. And baseball's back at the beach. Come catch the Diamondcats this weekend as they take on Alcorn State in the SWAC opening contest of the season. They're currently up 4-1 in the contest right now. They're also going to be playing tomorrow night at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 1. Coming out to the Jack. Admission is free, or the games are on the CatEye Network. Thank you to Kenny Scherlinger, who's covering the radio side of things at Jackie Robinson Ballpark tonight, where Bryce and I are up here working basketball.
Henson, too. He is over there, too.
Henson White is also over there, former CatEye Network commentator, now getting his master's at Florida State.
All right, we have 12 minutes left in the first half, and we need to be able to keep our foot on the brakes. This is honestly a pretty good place that we're in right now. You know, we're down by 1. I'm really expecting to see a lot of people drive in. I know we're a little bit scared, but honestly, we have to make something work. These three-pointers, 3, 6, 9 contested shots that has not been able to fall in yet. We need to be able to figure out what's going to be able to work.
Ruffin controls for Jackson State. Here's the left-hand corner pass. On the low block, it's Grant working on Onanina. Grant goes up and under, misses the layup, batted around. Mansell taller than everybody, but lost out to Kamara on the rebound.
Something I'm not expecting to see. I don't think Grant is on the board for some points. If he is, it's probably really low, but, you know, I expected this.
Freeman driving inside, long kick out to the right-hand corner. Martin double team down there. Looking for to split the double team. He goes down. No foul called. The ball is kicked out to Kamara. 10 to shoot. Kamara takes a straight on 3. Misses everything. And Mansell grabs the rebound. Long pass ahead. McMillian underneath in the paint, guarded by Kamara. He will reset for Jackson State.
That's 12 points on threes.
Yep. And 4 straight threes for the Wildcats. None of them anywhere close. And 4 possessions with almost no paint touches at all. And we heard Coach railing his team about that in the postgame last night.
We need to be able to go back and play what we played yesterday.
Ruffin cuts through on the baseline. Floater no good. Rebound on the ground. Martin has it. Gets it to Brayon Freeman.
All by himself.
All by himself, waiting for some options to come. He weaves through traffic to the right baseline. Kicks it out. Martin. 4-3. Nobody contests it, and it's off to the left. Drive the lane, guys.
15 points. I am counting every single last one of them. What happened to the game that we were playing yesterday? Calm, cool, collected, running plays.
9 of the Wildcats' 16 shots have been three-pointers. They've only hit 2 of them. Shannon Grant underneath against Martine. Layup no good. Rebound Martine. Martine's been doing a pretty darn good job.
Yes, he has. And this also is where we're talking about these second-point shots. Slow the game down.
Mid-range jumper good for Brayon, but again, he just walked into a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, though, as well, we want to go ahead and touch bases about Martine being able to block and guard these huge postmen that we have over at JSU. They've been doing a really good job. Nina, I'll give him his props. His footwork has been away. Really, really good so far.
Under 10 to play first half. 14-13 Bethune-Cookman. Another really low-scoring game. Screen and 3 for Ruffin. Bang.
And we saw the eye contact that was being made towards McMillan off the switch, looking for that 3. All right, we don't need no more threes.
So 16-14, Jackson State over Bethune-Cookman, 9.5 to go. Brayon Freeman high left wing side. Fakes the pass, throws it to Willoughby. Seneca kicks it back. Freeman gets under a screen, takes a 3, misses it, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
Whew. That's what I have to say.
So just like last night, neither team really at the races offensively, but it favors Jackson State, which is the team that can pound the ball inside.
Absolutely, because we have that McDonald's All-American All-Star player on their team as well.
I mean, Ruffin's got 8. Hunt and Mansell have 4. That's the scoring for Jackson State. Ruzon's got 5, but he's only played 7 minutes for the Wildcats. Thomas has 3, Kamara has 2, and Freeman has 4. And Brayon Freeman is going to go to the free throw line for 3 shots, as after he was fouled, taking a 3 by Dorian McMillan. Brayon Freeman, the senior out of Oxon Hill, Maryland. Him and Trey Thomas grew up playing with each other, against each other in that DMV, Baltimore, Maryland area. First free throw good. That was a great piece of content you and Vicky did the other night.
Yes. They absolutely loved it. That's one thing about it. You know, we want to make sure that the students know who these players are, their personalities. They're more than just players.
Second free throw good. Check out the CatEye Network socials and the BC Hoops socials if you haven't seen the great content that Vicky and Lee and you, Sabrina, have been doing behind the scenes this week. We got the This or That with the rappers.
Yes, absolutely.
We got fan mail.
The girls, the ladies, Wildcats basketball fan mail will be coming out soon. So please stay tuned for that one as well. More videos. I think this was the most content that we pushed out in a week.
16-16, third shot on the way from Brayon. Got it, and it's 17-16 Wildcats. Maybe that'll slow it down a little bit for Bethune-Cookman offensively, hitting those 3 free throws.
Daniel Ruzon is back in the game. Nina is still in the game as well. Hopefully this will be able to change the trajectory.
The Wildcats counter the 2-big lineup for Jackson State with a 2-big lineup of their own. It is Grant up on top, throws it down low. Mansell makes the catch, goes up, gets it pinned to the backboard by Onanita. What a monster block!
And that's what we're looking for. I want to see that every single play.
Ruzon attacking Grant, left baseline, stopped by Grant, still working hard down there, kicks it out. Brayon, left-hand drive, mid-ranger, kicks it back into the corner. Thomas, running jumper, misses everything. Flashing through for the rebound is Brayon. He keeps the play alive. He goes up against Grant. Up and under. No good. No foul. Ball dribbles out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wildcats. Last touch by Grant. That was a wild possession.
Intense, you guys. That was really, 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 really scary, y'all. We have to slow it down.
But
many bodies was flopping all over the floor.
You can see how just the big body of Shannon Grant, who, for those of you who are not watching and just listening, he's 6'10", 305 pounds. He looks like an offensive lineman.
Yeah, oh my goodness,
Baseline in for the Cats. It comes to Willoughby, back to Brayon. Left-hand corner catch and shoot 3.
Oh,
Short.
20 points. I'm keeping count.
And the Wildcats still lead by 1, 17-16, with 8.5 to go first half. Ruffin, who's got 8 points, pulls up for a mid-range jumper, too strong. Rebound Brayon. He wants to push the pace. Behind the back dribble across the time stripe. Throws it across to Seneca on the right baseline. Throws it to Ruzon. Floater, no good. Rebound Mansell, as he's just way bigger than Onanita is.
I need to see what the shooting percentage of this game is going on. It says right here that Bethune-Cookman is shooting with a 35.7%.
Mansell left wide open for 3 left wing. In and out of bounds. Wildcat ball last touched by Hunt as he tried to get the rebound. Ooh, the Wildcats got lucky there.
Very lucky. Going back to the shooting percentage, Bethune-Cookman has 35.7% of field goals, and JSU has 36%.
Well, that was at the last media timeout. Both teams now shooting under 30%.
Oh, even worse.
Brayon Freeman, right-hand baseline drive, Euro step, hands to Onanita, hook shot, no
Nothing's
good.
working.
Nothing going for the Wildcats.
And nothing's going in for the JSU as well, too. So we need to see what's going to, maybe they need a little timeout right now.
Wildcats, one of their last 10 from the floor, but still have a 17-16 lead with 7.5 to go in the first half as Martin gets set to check back in. It's Ruffin against Willoughby. And on the low block, here's Grant, baseline, backdoor cut, layup good for Deshaun Ruffin. That's a really effective play.
That's baseline. We tend to forget about that baseline.
18-17 Jackson State. Willoughby dribbles with the left hand, sees the mismatch, goes for it, dumps it off. Onanita off the window, got it.
Great response, great response.
And Onanita got a couple of those last night off of Brayon Freeman assists, just wide open layups off double teams.
And I hope to see that the entire game.
19-18 Bethune-Cookman, 7 minutes to go first half. Mansell on the low block against Onanita, kicks it out, 3 on the way, good. Oh boy.
Here's the game. This is where it started, 6 minutes left.
Brayon Freeman all the way in on the left-hand baseline. He'll back it up and hand to Ruzon. Jackson State is 3 out of 4 on triples tonight. Over the head pass, Ruzon, baseline jumper, too strong, rebound, out of bounds, stays with the Wildcats, last touch by Grant, and that'll take us to the under 8 media timeout. Well, Jackson State's lighting it up from 3, and they lead 21-19 over Bethune-Cookman at the 6:37 mark of the first half. This is Bethune-Cookman University basketball on the CatEye Radio Network and 1380 WELE. Softball season is back at the beach. Come catch Bethune-Cookman softball tomorrow as they have a conference doubleheader against Florida A&M. The action starts at 3 p.m. at Sunderland Park. Admission is free. Right here at the Gateway Center in Atlanta, Jackson State has used a 3 out of 4 clip from three-point range to take a 21-19 lead at the 6:37 mark of the first half. The Wildcats have tried to replicate their hot three-point shooting from last night, but have not been able to do so. Just 2 out of 10 in the first half. Thomas has got one, and Ruzon, of all people, has got one.
Yeah.
And the rest of the scoring for the Wildcats, it's been from the free throw line or from contested shots down low, as they found it really tough sledding to get by Mansell and Grant in the paint.
May I just say how exciting it is to see that our post players have been handling Grant along with Mansell, because it could get easily really crazy down there in the paint, but they've been holding their own and going over. We do want to take attempts to, it's been pretty even on both sides of it, can I say, but it could have been worse, if you want me to be quite honest.
Yeah, well, both teams not shooting great. Jackson State 7 of 20, Bethune-Cookman 7 of 24.
Yeah. And not a percentage that I would honestly see by JSU, who was a high-scoring team, or even Bethune-Cookman, you know, down in our paint stats. I think that's where most of our points are coming from, because it's definitely not coming from the 3, 6, 9.
Yeah, baseline in for the Wildcats. It comes to the right-hand corner. It's Trey Thomas. Will walk back to the top with 15 on the shot clock. Thomas sizes up Mansell, goes right, goes to the screen, takes the 3, in and out, no good. Rebound batted around, and it comes down to Jackson State and Jamie Mitchell.
Why are we shooting threes? A question that I may not ever get an answer for, but knowing this is not working for us.
I think Coach Theus is asking the same question.
Yeah.
21-19, Jackson State leads and with the ball. Mansell in the high post, throws it across. Mitchell catch and shoot on the left-hand side. 4-3, wide open, good.
We don't.
4 of 5 from 3 for Jackson State in the first half, and it's the largest lead of the game for the Tigers, 24-19.
We don't want to let JSU get hot on the three-pointers.
Well, they already are.
Yeah, well, they got that fire, but we got to be
Freeman
able to.
drives all the way in, layup, contact, no good. Great defense by Mansell. No passes on that possession for the Wildcats. Here comes Jamie Mitchell up the floor. He just hit the 3 on the last possession. Ruffin throws it down low. Oh, the lob and the jam for Romel Mansell. Timeout, Bethune-Cookman. It's all Jackson State out of the timeout. 26-19.
That baseline is the 3rd time that baseline has been open the entire night. The 3rd time. They push up. I keep telling y'all, they're going to do the switch. Grant's coming from the post to the top of the free throw line, switching it over and over. He pops out to the other side of the three-pointer in the corner. Nobody's there. He pulls up, comes in every single time. That baseline is going to be the worst thing for the Wildcats if they do not clean it up.
8-0 run for Jackson State since the last media timeout. 5.5 to go first half, 26-19. The Wildcats now shooting 26% from the floor in the first half and just 2 of 11 on threes. And the Wildcats, you can tell, are getting frustrated because they're not running the sets. Freeman and Thomas are just attacking into double teams and losing the ball and putting up wild shots.
Now, we're only down by 5 or 6 points right now. Oh, 5 points. This is still a game that we can get back into.
Seneca Willoughby will control for the Wildcats. Jackson State with all the momentum right now heading towards the halftime break. Willoughby picks up his dribble, fires back to Martine at the SWAC logo. Around it comes to Kamara, who throws it off the foot of Mansell and out of bounds. It'll be a fresh 20 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. I mentioned at the top of the show, if you weren't here for pregame, that the Wildcats drew the toughest possible route to the championship game as the 3 seed. Willoughby, step back 3 after a crossover, no good. Rebound, Kamara, he can't put it back in. It comes to Martine off of a deflection. Back to Willoughby in the left-hand corner. Martine fakes the 3, takes the 3, misses everything. Flashing through for the rebound is Kamara, but he was out of bounds.
Can we please?
Oh my goodness, 2 of 14 on threes in the first half for the Wildcats.
Less than 30%.
That's 18%. I mean, that is technically less than 30, you're right. Wow. I have not seen the Wildcats shoot this cold in quite a long time. 4:50 to go, Jackson State with a 7-point lead of the ball. Make that a 9-point lead, or make it a 10-point lead, excuse me. 3 from the left wing is good by Jamie Mitchell. They are 5 of 6 from 3 in the first half. The exact opposite of Bethune-Cookman. Willoughby almost lost it as he tried to cross the time stripe. Trey Thomas on the right-hand corner against Grant. He lost the ball. Diving on it is Hunt, and it's going to be a jump ball. Bethune-Cookman will keep it on the possession arrow. Oh, my goodness.
Deep pondering sigh.
You know what I feel like right now? I feel like the exact same that I felt 365 days ago when the Wildcats were just torched by Grambling State the first half, went into the halftime break down by 28, I think.
It's getting messy over there.
The Wildcats are down by 10, 29-19. They haven't scored in over 3 minutes. It's an 11-0 Jackson State run.
Jackson State getting really hyped up, but that's honestly what is needed for the Wildcats. For some reason, the Wildcats are able to respond when the opponents are against them. Like, you know, they have this angst towards them. I think that's what they need right now. They need that.
It'll be Wildcat ball after the tie-up. 14 on the shot clock, baseline in, 4:26 to go first half. An 11-0 Jackson State run, punctuated by 2 threes and a big dunk by Mansell, has them up by 10. Ruzon as the ball top of the key, drives in on Grant, dishes to Willoughby, left-hand corner jumper, no good off the back iron.
No good.
A foul is called as Khalil Kamara goes crashing to the ground. It's going to be on Jamie Mitchell Jr., so Wildcats finally get something Only the third personal foul the first half on Jackson State.
It's like we completely forgot how to run all of our plays. We completely forgot how to drive in, completely forgot how to take layups, mid-rangers. We abandoned the fundamentals of basketball. Everything that we were doing correctly yesterday, we cannot seem to find it with 10 points down.
Well, I think the Wildcats are panicking a little bit and trying to get it all back at once, which you can't do.
They have to
Willoughby
calm down.
off a handoff from Martin, curls the screen into the paint, double team, picks up his dribble, hits Kamara, left-hand corner, 3 on the way, shorts.
It's not working.
2 out of 15 on threes in the first half for the Wildcats. Jackson State up by 10. Wildcats scoreless over the last 3 minutes. And they've only had 3 points in the last 5. Jackson State on the ball again, up on top. Here's Jamie Mitchell. Hands to the free throw line to Ruffin. He takes a step back 3, no good. Kamara the rebound. Thomas with 3:43 to go walks across the time stripe into the front court. Basket, the Wildcats attack the listeners left dribble, handoff to Kamara. Willoughby, guarded by Ruffin, gets past Ruffin to the free throw line, dumps it underneath, Bruzon, pulls up, mid-range jumper, good. Finally, the Wildcats hit a field goal for the first time in their last 14 attempts. 29-21, Jackson State leads. 3:16 to go first half. Blowing into the front court is McMillan. He hands off to Hunt.
Look at that baseline that's wide open that we talked about every time.
Mansell catches between the circles, goes down low, and the ball is batted away. Thrown into the front court by Martin. Here's Thomas all the way in. He gets his shot rejected by Mansell. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wildcats. Mansell with a big stare down of Trey Thomas as we go to the under 4. Media timeout. Oh my goodness. Great defensive play by Martin to tip it away from Grant. He threw it up the floor to Thomas, who ran up and got his shot rejected by Mansell.
Do you know what could have saved us? That extra pass that was down there.
Because Kamara was right there.
He was right there. No, it was Ruzan that was down. Ruzan was down there. That extra pass could have been easy a layup up there if you wouldn't have went straight down for it. You have Mansell on you, who is obviously 4 or 5 feet taller than you. Ruzan, who's wide open, could have been an extra pass for that too.
Wildcats down 29-21. They'll have the ball with 3 minutes to go in the first half when we come back. This is Bethune-Cookman University basketball on the CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WELE. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at Nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. So the Wildcats are down 8 with 3 minutes to go in the first half against Jackson State here in the Southwestern Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Tournament Semifinals. And, well, the numbers don't look good. They're shooting 25% from the floor. They've taken 15 threes in the first half. They've only hit 2 of them. And yet they've not abandoned it and tried something else. Ruzon and Freeman have 7. Thomas has 3. Kamara has 2. Onanina has 2. That's it. Deshaun Ruffin has 10 for Jackson State. Mansell has 6. Hunt has 7. Mitchell has 6. So, Sabrina, nothing's going the Wildcats' way right now.
No, not at all. And honestly, we need to go back to the keys to the game. We have been doing really well on rebounds.
Baseline in for the Wildcats. It comes to Trey Thomas. He jumps into a long 2. Short on it. And even the long 2s, the Wildcats are just missing badly. Coast to coast, Kevion Hunt, layup, no good. Tapped out to Freeman. Freeman tries to push the pace. Here's Kamara, goes up against Mansell. He got fouled.
Almost the and one.
Almost an and one as the ball ricochets off the rim, no good. But finally, the Wildcats will get to the line for only the second time today. The downside of taking all these threes, Sabrina, is you don't get to the free throw line at all. You don't get any foul trouble.
And when we talked about our keys to the game, we said to draw the fouls, but how are you going to draw the fouls if you're not driving in?
So Kamara will go to the free throw line. Kamara was awesome last night.
Yes. Oh, my God. Play the game.
13.7 boards, 4 steals. But tonight, as he misses the free throw.
It's like everybody's called today. I also want to see who's going to be the one to step up, because right now it's, you know, our points are, I guess, kind of sort of evenly spread out throughout the stat sheet. But yesterday, Khalil was the one to step up in steals, in rebounds, and three-pointers. Let's abandon the three-pointers. But who is going to be the one to spark or ignite that fire between the Wildcats to get them to where they need to be?
Second free throw good. 29-22 Jackson State. 2:40 to go first half, and the Tigers control going left to right. Walking across the time stripe is Deshaun Ruffin, the top scorer in the game with 10.
Baseline
Ruffin,
wide open.
Off a screen from Grant. He's matched up against Ruzon. Goes in, spins, step back jumper at the free throw line. No good. Grant tips the ball to himself. Offensive rebound for Jackson State. Grant against Martin. Spins on the baseline. Tries to muscle it up. And no good, but a foul.
That swinging in the hand. Keep your hand straight up. Jump straight up.
Not sure who they called the foul on. Could have been really anybody, because all 5 Wildcats were down there trying to keep the 300-pound Shannon Grant from putting that up and good. So Grant will go to the free throw line. And if you think, well, Shannon Grant, maybe his weakness is the free throws, it's not really. He's shooting 67% on the season. With 2:21 to go, Cats down 29-22. Grant takes a deep breath and shoots, and it's good.
Now these points, you know, well, let me not speak too soon, because we're down by 8 right now.
Yep, Willoughby coming back in. 1 free throw to come, and there's still plenty of time to turn it around in the first half with 2:21 to go. The Wildcats just need to shoot better than the 24% they've shot in this first half.
And there is a chance, and I know that we'll be able to get back up. We just need to be able to find that momentum. Yesterday they came in with level-headed, poised. You know, they were being able to make concise shots, concise plays.
Grant makes both, 31-22. Cats back down 9. Brayon Freeman off the bench, pitches it across to Willoughby, who also just came back in. And back to Brayon. Brayon sends Kamara across the baseline, gets it back, thought about pulling up. Back to Seneca, top of the key. He goes down low, extra pass underneath is stolen away by Ruffin. Ruffin in the open floor makes a move to get past Brayon Freeman. Throws to the cutting Grant. He's fouled. Layup no good, but Grant will go back to the free throw line.
That was clean, I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't even see Grant come through and drive the way that he did. So that's a great way for him to draw fouls, and I think that's where he's gonna be able to get his points at, is at that line.
Another offensive possession for Bethune-Cookman where the ball went inside the paint and it was immediately turned over.
But we can't, you know, we don't even have Mansell in the game right now. It's only Grant. So there has to be a way for us to pull Grant forward and go up for that leg.
First free throw good. 10-point lead for Jackson State, 32-22. The Wildcats 8 of 33 from the floor. Half of those shots are threes. They're 2 of 16 on threes in this first half.
Down by 10.
And with 1:52 to go, the second free throw is good. They now find themselves down by 11, their largest deficit of the first half. And in the battle of the NBA pedigree head coaches, Reggie Theus for the Wildcats and Mo Williams for the Tigers, it's been all Mo Williams' squad over the last 10 minutes. 15-3 run over the last 5:21 for Jackson State. They lead it by 11, 33-22.
Something that I also noticed that
Brayon to Martin to Thomas. Ruzon right baseline, guarded by Mitchell. Ruzon almost lost the ball. Back to Martin, 13 to shoot. Back to Ruzon, cross-court pass. Brayon catch and shoot, left wing 3, no good. Tip in, no good.
Too hard.
By Kamara, rebound Ruffin.
Something I noticed from JSU, they're coming off the offensive.
Ruffin drives, blows past Thomas. Tough layup good over Martin. 35-22.
They're not pressing.
Freeman attacks Ruffin, drives into a triple team, hits Ruzon, mid-range jumper, no good. Foul underneath, it'll stay with the Wildcats.
I expected JSU to press, but they did not press. Honestly, it probably would have been bad if they did.
I mean, I'm not sure they need to right now. The Wildcats are just going to hurt themselves. Why need to press?
Absolutely.
Ruzon will check out. That'll be a Wildcat baseline in, down 35-22 with 1:10 to go in the first half.
We need a mid-ranger. We don't really have any big.
Well, I mean, nothing's been falling. Mid-range, three-pointers, obviously. Even in the paint, we've got nothing. Kamara triggers the inbounds. Martin, left baseline, back to Brayon. All the way on top with it.
He should have went up for it.
He gets double teamed. Floats it across to Thomas, 10 to shoot, 1 minute to go in the first half. Thomas to Martin, left corner three. Too strong, missed everything.
My gosh.
Rebound to Kevion Hunt. Hunt all the way in transition to Marion Hoover. Lost the ball, gives it right back to the Wildcats.
I think this halftime, I think the Wildcats really need a deep calmness of figuring out what's working for them. Nothing's working, like you said earlier before.
The Wildcats have scored 3 points in the last 6.5 minutes. Driving in his Camaro right baseline. He throws it to Thomas on the left wing. Thomas drives the lane, all the way in, up and under, no good. Tipped out to McMillan, rebound Jackson State. The Wildcats 8 of 37 in the first half. Timeout Jackson State with 28 seconds left to go. They'll hold for the final shot after this timeout. Make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to BCUathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's BCUathletics.com and click on shop. Well, it's 35-22. Bethune-Cookman trails Jackson State in, well, 2 straight years, Sabrina. In the biggest game of the year, the semifinals, the Wildcats have put in their worst first half performance in back-to-back years in the semifinals.
I'm still not trying to count the Wildcats out at all, but looking at the stats, some usually would. But honestly, I honestly feel like they need a reset. How you told me this morning, unplug it, plug it back in, and see if it's going to work right now.
But as they fall further and further behind, it's just going to become harder and harder to let your team mentally do that.
Which is important for us when they come back from
At the end of the first half against Scrambling State, last year they were down 44-19. And we're trending towards that territory, down 35-22. Jackson State with the ball. 28 seconds to go in the first half. Hunt gets it into Grant up on top. He taps it to Ruffin. Heels on the logo, and they'll wait to potentially get the final shot here. 5-second different shot clock to game clock. 13 on the shot clock.
The baseline. The baseline.
McMillan sets the screen. Ruffin ghosts it. Throws it to the right-hand corner. 3 on the way. No good front iron. Freeman grabs it. Lost it out of bounds, but it came off of Hunt, so the Wildcats will have 6 seconds to go the length of the floor and potentially make a shot at the end of the half. Down 35-22. The Wildcats again have scored 3 points in the last 7 minutes. 7 minutes, 3 points. It'll be Brayon Freeman all by himself. 3-2, spins in the lane, puts it up, muscles it in at the horn of the first half.
Nice.
So Brayon Freeman maybe gives the Cats a tiny bit of life going to the break, but it's still a long way back as they're down by 11 as we go to the break. As there's some jawing going on at half court as we go to the locker rooms. Trey Thomas is pointing at a assistant coach for Jackson State. A Jackson State assistant coach is trying to get at Kamara. The referees are trying to separate everybody. Some ugly scenes here as the Wildcats trail by 11 points. 35-24 at the break here at the Gateway Center Arena. Mansell's having to be restrained as he's pushed back to the locker room.
Oh my goodness.
Kamara's having to be restrained as he's trying to go after the Jackson State coaching staff. Ugly scenes here. I don't think any shoving or punches were thrown, but a lot for the officials to sort out here at the half.
Have to be very careful. We don't want to be able to enter the second half with a technical foul or anything going on like this. They need to regroup.
Well, an ugly end to an ugly first half that sees the Wildcats shoot 9 for 38 from the floor, 2 of 18 from 3. Meanwhile, Jackson State hits 5 threes and shoots 71% from beyond the arc, 39% overall, and leads 35-24.
Oh my goodness, I think there's some running in the back.
We're going to take a break.
Yeah.
We're going to throw it back to our studios at 1380 WLE for about a 10-minute break.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll take you through the first half stats, let you know what else is going on around the SWAC tournament, including a big win for Southern women's basketball as they punch their ticket to the women's finals. Alabama A&M punching their ticket to the men's finals earlier today. One of these teams will join them. It looks like it's going to be Jackson State. They're up 35-24 at half. This is Bethune-Cookman University basketball on the CatEye Radio Network and 1380 WELE. Welcome back to the Gateway Center in Atlanta, Georgia. We're at halftime of the 2025 SWAC Men's Basketball Tournament semifinals. It's the Jackson State Tigers 35, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 24, and the Wildcats put together, well, one of the poorest performances in the first half we've seen from them all season, and it came at the very, very wrong time. Michael Torello, Sabrina Petit-Holm, Lee Gillum, our intrepid trio here at the Gateway Center in Atlanta. Sabrina, I know it's hard, but try and sum up that first half for me.
Honestly, if I could try and get some words on how the first half was, it was just very poor. We played like we usually play like you said before, it's street ball. There was nothing formulated, no plays being ran. I mean, some shots fell and stuff like that, but they were lucky. We didn't have an actual plan to really help us advance to where we are right now. 35-24. We need to get everything back. We need to find those spaces. And it's hard for me to even find the words to describe it, because that's just how poor we were playing.
Here are your scoring totals for the first half, and well, they're not pretty, but Bethune-Cookman, Brayon Freeman has 9, Daniel Ruzan has 7, Trey Thomas has 3, Khalil Kamara has 3, Onanita has 2, Martine, nothing. No points for Martine in potentially his last collegiate game. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals for Martine. Willoughby's got nothing but 2 assists. For Jackson State, Deshaun Ruffett, the former McDonald's All-American, has got 12 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 2 out of 2 from 3. Kevion Hunt's got 7, Romel Mansell has 6, Mitchell has 6, and Grant has 4. Team stats look like this. Jackson State out-rebounding Bethune-Cookman 24-20. The Wildcats do have a 6-3 advantage on the offensive glass. Second chance points favored Jackson State, though, 4-0. The Wildcats got 0 second chance points in the first half.
And there was multiple second chance points that could have been made, but we have to be a lot more concise than that.
Jackson State moved the ball better, 9 assists to the Wildcats 5. The Wildcats forced 5 Jackson State turnovers, leading to 7 points off those turnovers. The Wildcats only technically turned the ball over 2 times in the first half, which is great, but they didn't get anything off of it.
Yep.
The Wildcats did get a lead in steals 3-1. Points in the paint even at 12 apiece. I mentioned those second chance points, 4-0 to Jackson State. When you look at the shooting splits, here's where it really gets ugly. The Wildcats took 10 more shots in that first half than Jackson State did. They shot just 9 of 38, 23.7%, and 2 for 18 from three-point land, 11%. They were 4 of 5 from the free throw line, which, I mean, they corrected the biggest issue from last night, which was they went 50% for the free throw line, but now they can't hit anything else.
The 3 points are not there. And just like Ivy said, we have to find that sweet spot, that balance between, you know, three-pointers, mid-rangers, everything that's been going on. It needs to fall into place, fall in line, correlate with each other.
The shooting splits for Jackson State look like this. They're 11 of 28 from the floor. That's 39.3% from field goal. They are 5 of 7 from 3. The complete opposite of Bethune-Cookman. Red hot from downtown. That's 74%, and 100% on free throws, 8 out of 8. They were already the best free throw shooting team in the conference coming in. And Mo Williams has his men up by 11 as we've got about a minute to go until the second half tips off. I mean, we were told at halftime by Bryce, who has been floating around to the Wildcats bench, that the message from the bench has been drive, drive, drive all the way, all the way, all the way.
We haven't been doing that.
It hasn't been doing it, but when we have got down there, it's been Mansell disrupting, it's been Grant disrupting. The Wildcats haven't been able to get anything on second chance points, 0 second chance points in the first half. So it's going to have to take a complete turn of a new leaf for the Wildcats to even have a sniff in this semifinal, which they trail 35-24 here at halftime.
Absolutely. I'm hoping to see a lot more driving in this go around. It was a big rumble going into the halftime, and now both teams are coming back more level-headed, more clear, and I'm hoping to see that they're playing the same way as well, too. We don't want to let nobody get in each other's heads.
Baseball is final down to the Jack. The Wildcats take a 15-4 win over Alcorn State in the first game of that series. Congratulations to baseball. Softball fell in their first game of a 3-game set against Florida A&M 7-4. Both teams will have a doubleheader tomorrow afternoon at Jackie Robinson Ballpark and Sunnyland Park, respectively. The clock hits 0 here on the halftime clock. Both teams just get ready to get back to basketball. It'll be Jackson State to possess the ball first. They had the possession arrow at the end of the first half. Welcome back to the booth cam. Those of you still tuned in on YouTube, we appreciate your company today and all season long. If this is the end for the Wildcats, if the Wildcats do make a massive comeback, they will excuse me, play in the SWAC finals for the first time in their history tomorrow against Alabama State at 9:30 p.m., but a long way back to get there in this one. I think if Jackson State comes out in the first 5 minutes and extends this lead, I think it might be game over.
And honestly, I'd have to agree with you as well. I want to see who is going to come back into the second half. If he's going to have the starters come back in correctly in the second half, or if they're going to have the same team that's been able to get rebound. We see Jesus, Trey, Daniel. Is that Seneca? Yep, Seneca and Khalil.
Yep. The starting five back on the floor for both teams. Jackson State will send Mansell, Grant, Hunt, Ruffin, and I can't see the fifth player. Oh, it's Dorian McMillan. So their same starting five on the floor as well from the first half. Jackson State in the all-white, trimmed in red and blue. They attack the basket to listeners left. Wildcats in the all-black with Bethune-Cookman in gold on the chest. It'll be Kevion Hunt to control, handoff to Ruffin, who's the top scorer in the game with 12 in the first half. To the right-hand corner, now Grant, backing down Martine on the right baseline. Puts a shoulder into Martine, muscles it up and in. There's nothing Martine can do against the guy that's 6'11", 305 pounds. And it's 37-24, largest lead of the game for Jackson State. Seneca will be hounded by Ruffin as he breaks into the front court. Half a minute gone by here in the second half. Ruzon makes the catch. He's going to go at Grant on the right baseline. He's going to attack. He puts up a floater. He's going to be fouled. And they're going to say that it was a pass, not a shot, so it's going to be a baseline in for the Wildcats. Ruzon immediately went to the line, and he's like, wait a minute. What do you mean I wasn't shooting?
So, we haven't gotten there yet.
So it'll be a baseline in for the Cats. Kamara to trigger, comes to Thomas in the right-hand corner, right in front of our broadcast position. Off a screen from Ruzon. Thomas goes all the way in, lays it up, no good. Tip-in is there, though, by Kamara, and the Wildcats are on the board the second half.
Got to call him the cleanup crew.
1 minute gone by in the second half. Wildcats trail 37-26. Jackson State on the ball. Here's Hunt. Back to McMillan between the circles. Out left to Ruffin. Guarded by Kamara. He gets a screen from Mansell. He throws the lob to Mansell, who taps it to Grant. Grant lost the ball but fouled by Ruzon. And that's the other thing that Shannon Grant will give you. He'll put your opponent bigs in foul trouble every
really
single
quickly,
game. Yep.
Honestly. And
now, the first half was very clean. Only 7 fouls against Jackson State and 5 against the Wildcats.
And that's because our post players were able to play with their hands up, straight up. When it comes to Grant, he's going to draw those fouls.
Mansell makes a tough catch. He drives in, dishes to Hunt under the basket. Hunt with the up and under kick out to McMillan. He takes a step through three. No good. Rebound Kamara.
I see a difference now. They've been able to slow the game down instead of making fast break passes. Run the pace.
Willoughby moves from right to left across the top of the key, guarded by McMillan. Now makes his way back to the left around a double screen, throws it back to Thomas. Trey against McMillan, gets to the baseline, spinning, throwing it back. Willoughby drives all the way in, hands it off underneath to Kamara, who is fouled. And it's going to be another baseline in for the Wildcats, as Kamara was not in the act of shooting either.
It's going to be a minute before we see that line.
Ruffin's going to pick up the foul, his first. Romel Mansell had 3 fouls quietly in that first half. So he's playing with 3 right now. Ruzon makes the catch off the baseline in, 16 to shoot. Ruzon jumps in, hook shot, no good. Rebound Kamara, shovels it back to Ruzon. Another floater is good.
Clean up crew.
And that's the first second chance points of the game for Bethune-Cookman as they're back down by 9, 37-28.
Let's see if we can get some more.
Ruffin, the Jackson native, former Ole Miss player, goes around Kamara, gets to the free throw line, puts up a floater, short, gets his own miss, and is fouled on the putback.
I think that's 3 for Jesus already.
No, Rosal's going to pick it up, and that's his 4th.
Whoa!
So Rozon is probably done for most of the rest of the night as here comes Onanina.
And that's exactly what JSU wanted.
And that's what having Mansell and Grant down there does. It puts your bigs under so much pressure as Grant and Mansell high five behind Ruffin, who's at the free throw line.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
Deshaun Ruffin, the best free throw shooter in the SWAC, makes the first one, shooting the free throw this year at 84.8%. And he is 1 for 1. It's his first trip to the line on the night.
Definitely counting on David Onanina to see some fundamental footworks down there. He cannot get beat by Grant.
It's going to be tough sledding for Onanina against the two towers down low for Jackson State. Second one, no good off the front of the rim. So it's a 10-point lead for the Tigers, 38-28. The Wildcats have gone even so far in this half, but need a big run to try and close this gap with 17:26 to go in the game. Down 10, Willoughby motioning in front of him, draws a double team, throws to Martine on the baseline. Willoughby gets it back down low. Onanina, jump hook, got it over Grant at the free throw line.
And I want to see that every play. I want to see that every run. That was great footwork, very clean.
Here's Dorian McMillan, the freshman out of Mississippi. Hands it back to Kevion Hunt, the junior out of Jackson. Across it goes to Manziel at the top of the key, guarded by Martine. He ducks it down to Grant. Left baseline against Onanina. Grant backs Onanina all the way in, puts up a hook shot. No good. A foul is called. And Mo Williams applauds the effort on the sideline. And Onanina is immediately going to pick up a foul. And Grant's going to go to the free throw line where he is 4 of 4 tonight. Funnily enough, the only person that's missed a free throw for Jackson State is Deshaun Ruffin, who's the best free throw shooter in the conference.
That's ironic for you.
So Grant shooting with the Sonic Boom of the South, the marching band for Jackson State behind the basket. The listeners left where Jackson State's going in this second half. 38-30 now, 39-30 as that one's good. He maybe has the best free throw mechanics of anybody his size I've ever seen. He's so clean. Sure. Jackson State out-rebounding Bethune-Cookman 25-24 on the night. Wildcats have an 8-4 advantage in offensive rebounds, but only 4 second-chance points. Both of those so far in the second half. Grant makes both free throws. He's 6 out of 6 from the free throw line tonight. And it's back to a 10-point game, 40-30, Jackson State. 16:45 to go in the contest. Seneca Willoughby runs the point. He's double-teamed out high by Hunt and McMillan. He goes it across to Thomas. Thomas against Ruffin. Drives in, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, McMillan for Jackson State.
16 minutes and 31 seconds.
Oh, bad pass. Thomas throws it to Kamara. He goes up, lays it. Oh, no good.
Oh, my
How
goodness.
in the world did he miss that? A sitter. The offensive rebound is grabbed by Willoughby, though. Willoughby off of a baseline scramble will reset the offense for Bethune-Cookman. He gets a screen from Onanina. Gets inside against Grant. Lays it up. No good, but Grant is going to draw the foul.
Yeah. If they're going to try and give Daniel Ruse on 4 fouls, we need to go ahead and get Grant out too. Mansell's already at 3. We need 2 more.
Which is why Grant has primarily moved to the 5-man guarding the paint. So Mansell trying to stay away from that foul.
From that 3, but now he's going to be the one driving and getting that foul.
Now it's Seneca Willoughby at the free throw line with the Cats down 10. Cats wearing the all-black tonight. Bethune in gold above the numbers. Cookman in gold below. The numbers also gold. First free throw from Willoughby, good. Seneca, the junior from Wyckonote, Pennsylvania, his entire collegiate career at Bethune-Cookman. Correction, his freshman year was at Contra Costa College in California. The last 3 years at Bethune-Cookman. And he's got 1 year of eligibility after this. Actually, the Wildcats, the second free throw is missed by Seneca. The Wildcats only have 2 players that are out of eligibility and walked on senior day. One of them is Jesus Caballero Martin. The other one is Daniel Ruzan. Those are the only 2 that are potentially playing their final collegiate game tonight. Yeah. Jackson State on the ball. Grant backdoor cutting pass to Ruffin. Ruffin lost the ball. Here's Thomas. In transition, gets by 1. Stops at the free throw line. Floater good for Trey Thomas.
Nice.
And transition buckets are going to be so important to prevent Jackson State from setting up defensively.
Absolutely, and we're slowly creeping back up there, but there's still things that need to be adjusted.
Wildcats down 7, 40-33. The ball's thrown to Mansell at the free throw line. He works on Martine. Throws it across court to McMillan. Steps inside the free throw line. Finds Hunt on the right wing. Down low to Grant on the baseline against Onanita. Grant working against Onanita. Hook shot, no good. Rebound. Mansell bats it up to himself. Throws the putback back up, and a foul is called on Martin.
That, honestly, I am not happy about at all because he would have had his hands straight up. These are not the foul. I honestly can't argue. If the ref says it's a foul, it's a foul.
First foul on Martin. Mansell will go to the free throw line when we come back. The Cats down 7, 40-33 here in the SWAC semifinals with 15 minutes to go in the game. It's Bethune-Cookman basketball on the CatEye Radio Network at 1380 WELE. Make sure you are repping Bethune-Cookman University to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to BCUathletics.com and click on Shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's BCUathletics.com and click on Shop. And stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU basketball, follow at BCU Hoops on social media. And you'll want to follow it because Sabrina and Vicky and Lee, our student content team here this week, have been putting on some excellent content. You're gonna want to watch the This or That featuring Kendrick and Drake.
A crowd fave.
You're gonna want to watch the fan mail for both the men's and the women's teams.
Yep.
You're gonna watch the highlight videos that Vicky's been editing.
She's been going crazy. If you haven't already, make sure you guys follow our _NTDO_films. Shout out to you, Vicky. Shout out to Lee Productions. Shout out to everybody. Have a great team.
I'm gonna say it every time I get the chance. The CatEye Network is the best digital production team in the SWAC, and it's primarily student-driven. And I love the fact that we've been able to give those opportunities to our students.
Free throw not good by Mansell.
Mansell misses the first one as we come back from break. 15-18 to go in the game. Wildcats down 7, and now they're down 8 as the second one's good by Mansell. On the season, Mansell a 60% free throw shooter. Wildcats with the ball, wearing the all-black, going left to right.
The game has absolutely slowed down from the second half, but JSU double
picks up a dribble, double team. Onanita back up top to Thomas. He goes around the Onanita screen, gets in the lane, throws it to Martin underneath. He's guarded by Mansell, lost the ball, but a foul as Mansell chopped Martin on the arm.
Finally being called from Mansell. Grant currently has now 4 fouls, and that's exactly what we're looking for this game to turn around. 14 minutes and 59 seconds left in the game. Grant with 4 fouls. If we take him out the game, this could be the game changer, the momentum shift that we have been looking for to get that win.
Off the inbounds pass, a layup, no good. Rebound, Mansell. He just picked up his 4th foul. Will stay in the game, though. Ruffin attacks for Jackson State, although some changes being prepared for the Tigers that will probably see Mansell come out of the game. Ruffin around the Mansell screen, kicks to the left-hand corner. Hunt backs up, guarded by Kamara. It's Grant again, trying to impose his will on Onanita. The hook shot with the right hand is good.
It's good every time. Every time. Brayon, we see, is going to check in.
Shannon Grant up to 10 points. Ruffin 13 for Jackson State. Nobody with more than 10 for the Wildcats. Freeman and Ruzon both have 9, but Ruzon's got 4 fouls.
This is easy.
Thomas, step back 3, left wing, no good. Rebound, Onanina, and he's reached in upon by Kevion Hunt. And so if you're Jackson State and you have 2 of the biggest dudes in the SWAC, why are you letting the 5'11" guard try and rebound against David Onanina?
It's definitely getting into their heads.
That was a mismatch there, and
Absolutely.
I think Jackson State's going to want to correct that. The Wildcats on the baseline in, 20 on the shot clock. Kamara triggers to Martin. Kamara gets it back right baseline, 3 on the way, good! Khalil Kamara finally hits his first 3 of the night.
Woo! I was so scared, Mike. He was going up with that 3. I didn't know if it was going to go into that.
43-36, Jackson over Bethune-Cookman. Kevion Hunt with the basketball. Stopped by Thomas, hands to Ruffin, left high wing side. Ruffin around the screen, takes the 3, misses the 3, back iron. Kamara out jumps Hunt for the rebound. Throws it ahead to Brayon Freeman. Freeman tries to go all the way in. Almost lost the ball, up and under at the free throw line, lost it. Hunt was right there to pick it off as he tried to find Thomas at the free throw line, and Freeman just dribbled himself into trouble right there.
Honestly, if we want to talk about Kevion Hunt, he's the fastest one on the court right now. Oh,
here's a steal by Martin. The ball's on the ground. It's Martin and Mitchell in a tussle on the ground. A jump ball is called. The Wildcats will have the possession arrow, and there's a lot of extras going on. Mitchell and Martin. Remember, the 2 teams almost came to blows going off the floor at the end of the first half.
That's the underlying fact that's what's going on. So much anxiety, intenseness from both teams playing at poise, and they have to figure out to take all of that and put it in their style of game of basketball. We do not need anybody being ejected out of the game. Just play the game.
Martin walks up. Khalil Kamara trying to get the Wildcat fans in. It's mostly Jackson State fans in here because they had the doubleheader. The women lost to Southern earlier this afternoon in their semifinal. So the most of the Jackson State fans that were there for that game have stayed.
Can I shout out Miss Theo, because she takes care of the athletes through and through. She has been doing such a great job.
Head athletic trainer for the Wildcats, if you don't know.
Yes, we love you.
It'll be Wildcat ball off the possession arrow after the tie-up between Mitchell and Martin. I did not expect that 2 of the key players in this game, Daniel Ruzon and Ramel Mansell, would each have 4 fouls at the 13-minute mark in the second half.
Do you know what I feel that is? I think both coaches had the same idea for each players, which made them both have the... Oh, is he out the game?
I think Martin may be bleeding as he got hit on the chin, so he's going to have to come out of the game.
Oh, okay. But, you know, to reiterate my point, I honestly believe that both coaches had the same idea of trying to foul out their both big players, both of their best post players, in order to, you know, create that opening for both teams to get that,
And the problem for the Wildcats in that is they really only have 1 big that can compete like that.
Yes.
Jackson State has 2.
So this is honestly not really a good thing for the Wildcats, or a better thing. So it's a yes or no. It's a win or lose.
We have a delay as they clean up the floor as Jesus Caballero Martin gets his chin attended to.
Yeah.
Wildcats down 36-43. They've been down by as much as 13, 37-24, as they slowly try to chip away at Jackson State in the second half. And all you got to do is just keep chipping away and make it a manageable deficit in those last 5 minutes.
And 13 minutes and 23 seconds is enough time for you guys to do that, for the Wildcats to be able to do that.
The cleanup of the floor continues, where Jamie Mitchell and Jesus Caballero Martin went for a scramble and a jump ball. It'll be Wildcat ball. Attacking the basket to listeners right. 13:23 to go in the ball game. The Wildcats were down 35-24 at halftime, and almost a eerily similar style to where they were down at halftime in the semifinals against Grambling State last year. Grambling State just ran them out of the building early in that one, en route to a SWAC championship. And of course, Jackson State trying to repeat the process, beat Bethune-Cookman in the semifinals, and then win a SWAC championship.
Let's talk about how the Wildcats have been playing a much better game coming in, from the second half, from halftime. They're playing a much slower game, more poised, we want to see it. Yesterday against Alcorn, we saw an efficient pass from the team, and I'm expecting to see that as well. They were all across the boards, and this is something that we need to be able to find out what we can do.
And remember, Alcorn State yesterday, the Wildcats had a lead at the half. Alcorn State came out of the second half hot, actually took the lead before the Wildcats reestablished their dominance in the last 10 minutes. Come be a part of BCU Athletics and support the CatEye Network. If you or your business is interested in partnering with us here on the CatEye Network, you can reach out to the Wildcats Athletic Communications Department at BCU Sports Info at Cookman.edu. That's BCU Sports Info at Cookman.edu. We are currently under review. The referees are at the monitor at the scorers table. I can only guess that they're looking for maybe an elbow or something inadvertent in that scramble between Jesus and Jamie Mitchell Jr. as they tied the ball up at half court. Let's get you through a quick scoring refresh for Bethune-Cookman. Ruzan with 9 but 4 fouls. Freeman with 9, Kamara with 8, Thomas with 5, Onanita with 4, and Willoughby with 1. Carolero 0 for 4 from the field tonight.
Wow. But slamming his body everywhere to get to it, too.
He plays that way. I compare him to Asian Nicholson on the women's side, who's just fearless with her body and will just throw herself in every situation.
For the betterment of the team, I guess.
For Jackson State, Ruffin's got 13, Grant's got 10, Mansell's got 7, but he also has 4 fouls. Hunt's got 7 and Mitchell's got 6. So fewer players have scored for Jackson State, but they have the potential to put 5 guys in double figures, which I mentioned at the top of the show.
Yes,
they have 5 guys averaging double figures. Ruffin with 15.6, Grant with 11, McMillan with 10.5, Manto with 10.4, and Mitchell with 10.3. Although Mitchell is yet to score, or correction, Mitchell has 6, McMillan is yet to score tonight. I do get Mitchell and McMillan confused. They've got similar body types. So when their number is not to me, I'm like, which one is that?
Well, let's talk about Kevon again. Hunt has been all over the floor. He's really fast. There's times I see him, if we have the ball down here and they seize a pass, he's there to intercept it. It's crazy.
Kevon Hunt,
speed on him.
7.7 rebounds, on for a double-double, 4 assists and a steal for Hunt today. Hunt, the junior from Jackson, Mississippi, all 3 college seasons at Jackson State. He's averaging 17 minutes over his career and 5.4 points, but he's averaging 8.6 points this year. He also leads the team in steals with 36, and from the way he plays, jumping those passing lanes, it's pretty easy to see why.
It looks like, it's still Wildcat ball.
Wildcat ball off of the tie-up, so the possession arrow will go back to Jackson State. Rayon Freeman throws the ball into Martine. Martine with a big old bandage on his chin that's flapping all over the place in the wind. 13:15 to go in the game. Trey Thomas controls on high for the Wildcats, attacking the basket to listeners right. Thomas hits Brayon, top of the key. Brayon waits for the screen, goes around it by Onanita, gets to the free throw line, pulls up for a jumper and misses. Free rebound, no good. Martine tried to slam it home when Grant was there.
Right over Grant.
Grant was there for the rebound.
Pretty tall as well, too.
Wildcats down 43-36. Jackson has the ball. 12:53 to go in the contest. Kevion Hunt, who we sang his praises in the last timeout, has possession. Hunt with a slow right-hand dribble surveying the defense. Now walks to the right-hand wing. Back to Grant at the top of the key. Handoff to Ruffin. Good defense by Kamara. Ruffin goes all the way in, floats it up and in. Just blew by Kamara.
It's a dog.
Ruffin up to 15. He averages 16.5 per game, and he's on for a massive one. Remember, Deshaun Ruffin had 37 points. The ball is tapped out of bounds in transition. Kevion Hunt tried to strip Brown from behind. Wildcats will keep it. But the highest scoring game of the season for Deshaun Ruffin came against Bethune-Cookman. He had 37 points in the game in Jackson back in February. Brayon Freeman in the right-hand corner off the pass from Martine. Takes a 3, misses the 3 off the rear iron. Martine grabs the long rebound at the free throw line. Here's Thomas. Double teamed. He splits it all the way in. Onanita, the lob, no good. He missed the sitting easy layup, and Ruffin comes away with it in the open floor for Jackson State. He goes right at Brayon, spins past him, lays it up and in. That was a really pretty move by Deshaun Ruffin, the former 4-star recruit and Ole Miss player. And it is right back to an 11-point game. Brayon up and under in transition, no good. Rebound Ruffin, and here we go again. Long pass, Onanita deflects it out of bounds, or else Mitchell would be wide open at the hoop. But oh boy, it's a quick 5-0 run for Jackson State. The lead is back to 11, 47-36 at the under 12 media timeout. We'll take it with them. This is Bethune-Cookman University basketball, the CatEye Radio Network and 1380 WELE. There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at BCUathletics.com/Champions Club. That's BCUathletics.com/Champions Club. They did change that URL halfway through the season. My brain went on autopilot a little bit. That's again, BCUathletics.com/Champions Club if you want to support BCU Athletics. The Wildcats trail 47-36. They had the lead trimmed to just 6 at one point, but a 2.5-minute scoreless streak by the Wildcats has allowed Jackson State to push the lead back to 11. The Wildcats have been down by as much as 13 in this game. Michael Torello, Sabrina Petit home live from courtside here at the Gateway Center in Atlanta, a arena that the Wildcats seemingly will be leaving after the next 11.5 minutes unless a minor miracle happens.
Ruzon is back in the game with 4 fouls.
And 11 minutes to go.
We still have 11 minutes, so this could be really, really good for us or really, really bad for us.
And of course, Daniel Ruzon, one of the 2 Wildcat players that will see his career end tonight if the Wildcats can't come back in this game, the other one being Jesus Carolero Martin. It'll be Jackson State ball baseline in. The basket that they attack the listeners left. It comes out to Kevion Hunt. He'll run the offense, hand the ball off to Ruffin, who lost the ball in the backcourt. It's a backcourt violation.
Yep.
Well, that's a unforced error for Jackson State. There haven't been many of those tonight.
No, not at all, but, you know, he's quite polished in the basketball world. So I don't think he saw that one coming.
It's funny, Deshaun Ruffin has 17 points and maybe hit the prettiest spin cycle you've ever seen on the last drive. Just completely lost the ball out of his hand. Trey Thomas all the way in, left hand, reverse layup, no good. Rebound, Willoughby lost the ball out of bounds. Off his foot.
Yes, it is.
Wildcats can't get anything, and that's just how it's gone tonight. Nothing has bounced the Wildcats' way at all. 47-36, Jackson State with the ball with 11:20 to go. Deshaun Ruffin, who's got 17, who loves playing against the Wildcats, had 37 in Jackson back in January. He dumps it down to Grant against Ruzon. Remember, Ruzon playing with 4 fouls. Kick out, top of the key. Mitchell drives in right of the lane. Puts the ball on the floor. Almost lost the ball through a double team. It somehow comes back to McMillan. McMillan to Ruffin. Ruffin against Martin. Drives in. Free throw line jumper good. Deshaun Ruffin is unbelievable.
Like you said during the timeout, I don't think he's going to be in this league next season. Somebody big is going to pick him up.
The 5'10 mini magician, Deshaun Ruffin, does it again. 49-36, largest lead of the night for Jackson State.
Reminds me of Isaiah Thomas, honestly.
He does. I can see that comparison.
Yeah.
Thomas off the Ruzon screen, takes a 3, misses it. Ruzon, put back, no good. That's unbelievable.
Nothing's working for us.
The Wildcats have just missed everything tonight. They're shooting 25% from the floor, and a lot of it's on putbacks like that. There's a reason that the Wildcats have 8 second chance points, but 13 offensive rebounds.
JSU, looking for an
Ruffin
ISO.
Again, ISO'd against Willoughby at the free throw line.
Baseline.
Swings into the corner. Aggressive attack by Kamara. He lost his man. Floater baseline, no good. Rebound Seneca. That shot was from Mitchell.
We can't have that lead elongate from JSU because that's...
Seneca around the double screen out high, goes to Martin, dumps it down. Ruzon gets bucket and the foul on the hook shot with the left hand.
And I think that's number 3 for him.
That's 3.
3 for Grant.
For Grant. And Ruzon's going to go to the line. He's now in double figures, Ruzon, and potentially his final collegiate game. He's not played bad tonight, but the 4 fouls have definitely kept him out of most of the action, only 19 minutes played. Ruzon always have had a tough task against Mansell and Grant. And really, the Wildcats have gotten decent looks offensively. It's just been not their night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ruzon for a chance for a 3-point play, his first trip to the line tonight. The free throw is up and good, so the Wildcats down back by 10, 49-39. On the season, Ruzon a 64% shooter at the charity stripe. Ruffin, who's got 19, 8 of 15 shooting, will control for Jackson State. He has been unbelievable in this second half. Ruffin around the screen, switched onto by Ruzon. He goes left, gets in, flips it up, no good. That was a wild shot. Ruzon the rebound. Wildcats 5 on 4th. They hurry as Ruffin fell down.
Pass,
here's Ruzon into the paint. Got his shot blocked. Put back. Oh, no good. Trey Thomas had that one go all the way down and just pop right back out. And if that's not an epitome for how things have gone tonight, I don't know what is.
And
that's
honestly,
unbelievable.
I honestly think that's just that the Wildcats are having bad luck because the shots are good. They're there, but they're not falling through.
9 minutes left. Ruffin against Thomas out high.
Wasting
Jackson
time.
State tries to starts to drain clock. Here's a catch and shoot right wing three. Kaboom. Torian McMillan back to a 13-point lead, 52-39.
And it's not over till it's over.
And it feels pretty much over right now with 8.5 to go. Martine up on top. Down low it comes. Here's Ruzan against Grant. Ruzan driving to the baseline. Grant forces him to kick it out and throw it out of bounds. Into the VCU bench. Another Wildcat turnover. They haven't had many of those tonight, just the fourth, but when they have had them, it seems like they've been very impactful. They forced 10 Jackson State turnovers tonight. 10 points off those turnovers. That's maybe the brightest spot for the Wildcats tonight.
Okay, so Brayon is back in the game. Hopefully this will be the shit. 8 minutes in the game.
Ruffin to Marion Hoover, who hasn't played much tonight. Just checked back in, the freshman from Yazoo City in Mississippi. Back on top, here's another straight on three, good. Jamie Mitchell Jr. extends the lead. It's up to a 16-point lead, largest of the night, and that is the ball game. I'm gonna call it right now. I'm calling it right now with 8 minutes to go. That's the ball game, 55-39. This is verging on blowout territory here for the Wildcats. 2 years in a row, the Wildcats get to the semifinals and get absolutely torched.
But you also got to know that this was not the easiest pick of the draw that we did have.
Thomas around the Ruzon screen to the free throw line, pulls up and knocks down a jumper. Timeout Wildcats. 55-41. 14-point lead for Jackson State with 7:38 to go in the game. And you can already see some Wildcat fans maybe headed toward the exits here.
I haven't seen much, but I'm hoping they continue to stay.
The Wildcats seemingly have reached their peak, and that peak is the semifinals, and it's happened 2 years in a row. We go back to the studio for a commercial break. 7:38 to go here at the Gateway Center. Wildcats down 55-41. This is the CatEye Radio Network and 1380 WELE. Support the Wildcats like never before. Bethune-Cookman Athletics has partnered with Influxer to bring you officially licensed, co-branded NIL merchandise featuring your favorite players' names and numbers. Proceeds from each purchase directly support Wildcat student athletes. Show your support for your favorite Wildcats today at bcuathletics.com/NIL merch. That's bcuathletics.com/NIL merch. Well, back at the Gateway Center in Atlanta, it's been all Jackson State tonight. They lead 55-41. And the last couple of minutes, the Wildcats pulled to within 6, and, well, they blew it open again. They led by as many as 16 points before a Trey Thomas jumper right before the media timeout. And it's been through the three-pointer. Jackson State 7 of 11 on threes. Unbelievable. 63% from beyond the arc. And, well, inside the arc, they're not that bad either. 43%. on the night. Deshaun Ruffin has been unbelievable. 19 points, 10 points for Shannon Grant, including 6 of 6 from the free throw line. It has gone exactly according to plan for Jackson State on both ends of the floor, and the Wildcats have had no answers.
We're looking, we're searching.
The Wildcats will pick up a full court press here as Jackson State will inbound going right to left. They throw it all the way to the midcourt, and Kamara rips it away. Brayon Freeman gets the steal. Freeman all the way in, layup, no good, tip in, good by Ruzon.
I was holding my breath for so long.
Finally, a tip in goes in. Those haven't been going for the Wildcats tonight. Timeout Jackson State as they weren't ready for the Bethune-Cookman full court press, 55-43 the score.
They didn't know what was coming to them. And that might actually work in favor for Bethune-Cookman University.
Well, I think that Mel Williams calls timeout. He's going to set it up, and they're going to break the press.
He's going to break the press.
Mel Williams, of course, the former Mr. Basketball at Murrah High School in Jackson, Mississippi. Played at Alabama before spending 14 years in the NBA. He was an All-Star, an NBA title winner with the Cavaliers in 2016. He spent 2 years as the head coach at Alabama State, and now in his 3rd season at Jackson State. They've increased their win total every year, and now it looks like he's on the verge of taking them to their first SWAC title under Mo Williams. Though Mo Williams has kept it all in the family, too.
Yep.
His son, Kydarius, his oldest son, is one of his assistant coaches.
Wow.
And his youngest son, Mike, has just committed to Jackson State to be a player for next season. He'll be a freshman on their roster
Now,
next
who does
year.
that sound like to you? Keon Sanders ready for the football team.
A little bit.
A little bit like that.
Yeah. Wildcats will come with some full court pressure again. Romel Mansell in the game with 4 fouls. Ruzon also in the game with 4 fouls. 7:24 to go. Wildcats trail 55-43. Jackson State going right to left. Here's the inbounds from Mansell. Wildcats will full court press. They get it in to Hunt. Hunt dribbles it across the front court. He got fouled from behind by Martine, pushed down by a shoulder check. Martine will pick up his first foul. He's played 29 minutes tonight, Martine. That's only his first foul.
Also, Grant as well, who's I think played 29 minutes as well,
He's
too.
played 33 minutes.
Oh,
So Ruffin and Grant have played all 33 minutes of the game so far.
I think one of the 5 players that we said that averages about 10 points per game.
Yep, Trey Thomas has the most minutes for the Wildcats, 30. But he's only got 7 points tonight on an off shooting night for literally everybody. The Wildcats shooting 27% from the floor and just 3 of 22 from beyond the arc. Although they've only taken 4 threes in the second half. They've made 1 of them. Grant off the inbounds pass. Will control up high. 1 dribble. Hand off. Mitchell around the screen. Drives right to the lane. Kick out Ruffin. Fakes the 3. Jab step against Kamara in the right-hand corner. He drives in all the way. Finger roll good with the left hand. Deshaun Ruffin, 21 points tonight for the spectacular junior out of Jackson, Mississippi. Seneca Willoughby drives right baseline, pulls up, mid-range short, rebound Jackson State. No passing.
Taking
1 shot and done
time.
on that possession for the Wildcats, and it's 57-43. Jackson State looking to make it more, as I've called this game over for about the last 5 minutes. And once again, the Wildcats have hit their threshold, and that threshold is the semifinals. The schedule did them no favors. Backdoor cut, layup good, easy for Jamie Mitchell Jr. on the baseline. Grant picks up an assist. Grant now has 3 assists on the night, 59-43. And the lead creeps up towards 20 points. Brayon all the way in, reverse layup, rolls in.
Is Brayon the answer?
Well, if he was, he should have started to be the answer about 20 minutes ago. As we'll have an official's timeout with condensation on the floor at the top of the key. I think it's from Martine again, who's got that big old bandage on his chin from where he got tangled up with Jamie Mitchell Jr. playing through it, the Spaniard. He told us in the content piece about fan mail that you did that he wants to go back to Spain and pursue being a professional player. I mean, he's got the tools to make it happen.
Oh, I think he is actually already, things are being set in motion for him.
We wish Martine all the best. Unfortunately, his collegiate career will end tonight. Mansell, full court press, gets it in to Ruffin. Ruffin stopped at the time stripe by Martine, floats it into the front court for Mansell, guarded by Seneca. And it's back to Kevion Hunt, and then Ruffin throws it down low. Mansell couldn't make the catch, and it goes to Bethune-Cookman out of bounds on the baseline. 5:47 to go. Wildcats down 59-45. During the next timeout, I'm going to figure out the lowest score for the Wildcats in the conference play, because they might hit it tonight.
We're down by 14.
Their lowest score in a game so far this season was 41 against Virginia back in December. Their lowest score in conference play, I believe, is 61. A 61-70 loss to Alcorn State in Mississippi back in January. Correction, they scored 53 against Southern in January. Brayon gets to the free throw line, turnaround jumper, no good, rebound Mansell. So 53 is the lowest points the Wildcats have scored all season. They got 5 minutes to get 7 points. Crossover, Hunt, right hand layup, no good. Long rebound comes out to Freeman. He throws it ahead. Thomas under the basket, layup good. 59-47 with 5:15 to go. Cross-court pass finds Hunt. Thomas picks him up near the time stripe, And again, they'll just drain every tick of sand through the hourglass with 5 minutes to go in the game. Up 59-47. Mansell with his back to the basket at the free throw line. Sizes up Martine, goes left, puts it up. No good, but a foul on Martine. That'll be his third, correction, his second.
I've been silent for the past 5 minutes because I haven't found the words to describe what is
tough.
going on.
It's tough when you get maybe your best performance offensively of the season last night, and then tonight it's just been nothing. The Wildcats 28% from the floor on the night. 3 of 22 from deep. Mansell hits the first free throw, 60-47.
Now, I believe that's almost a template.
Conversely, Jackson State 20 of 44, 45%. Mansell misses the second one.
So it is a 13-point game now.
And 7 of 11 from three. 63% from three for Jackson State on very efficient shooting numbers. Here's a three from the corner.
Never worked for us.
Nope, but an offensive rebound. Thomas takes a right-hand corner three, missed it. Another offensive rebound by Kamara. His putback is altered by Grant. I think he'll give Grant a block for that. Picked up by Jackson State. Kevion Hunt walks it across half court. Mo Williams telling his starting point guard to slow things down. 4:23 to go. Brayon reaches in, fouls fouls Hunt. As that'll be the first foul on Brayon. Brayon, who had 18 and 19 in his first 2 games back from injury, 11 tonight, 4 of 14 shooting, 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. Not a great game for him. Actually, the best offensive force for the Wildcats has been Ruzan, 14 points in his final collegiate game. 6 of 14, 1 of 2 from 3. Actually, when Ruzan hit that three-pointer, the Wildcats went up 3-2 really early on. I thought, oh boy, this might be a good game for us.
I thought so too, but
that's not good. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for Kevion Hunt. He misses the front end. So the score holds 60-47 with 4:18 to go. Brayon gets the tap back pass from Martine on the high left wing side, back to Martine, just inside the free throw line to Ruzan. Free throw line jumper, no good off the back iron. Martine fights for the offensive rebound. He goes in, left hand layup, no good. Mansell taps it out, and the rebound is taken by Mitchell. Mitchell all the way, Euro step in the lane, layup good with the right hand. The Wildcats have been buzzing around the basket all night, but just have not gotten anything to fall. Their field goal percentage is down to 26%. 62-47.
Trying to find the
Freeman gets it back, fakes the three, jab step, spins in the lane, up and under, no good. Rebound Grant. Brayon picks himself up off the high wood and limps back into the play. Hunt.
Looks like Wildcats have given up, and we don't want to see that.
You definitely notice that the Wildcats have given up in this one. Grant at the free throw line, right hand, corner, three, good. Mitchell, timeout. That's it. 65-47. We have officially reached blowout territory. The mostly partisan Jackson State crowd here in the building is on their feet as the Tigers are going to get at least one team into the finals. The women couldn't do it. They lost by 2 to Southern in the first game today. But Jackson State is going to go to the finals and meet Alabama State And I would heavily favor Jackson State in that matchup.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Honestly, I really didn't expect them to win against Grambling State because Grambling is a very nice college basketball team. They've been in the game. They've been into the SWAC playoffs before. They took it all the way and made it to March Madness for the NCAA. So I was expecting them to come back and do it all over again. But with Jackson State coming in, it's not going to be a very good game for Alabama State either as well. I came to the game earlier too. Their defense, obviously, they won by shooting efficiency. That's the same thing that happened with Grambling is what's happening to us right now, and it was shooting efficiency.
And I tell you what, I know what Coach Theus is going to say in the post-game press conference.
Yep.
He's going to say, oh, we didn't get a day off. Jackson State got a day off. There's no excuse. You cannot use that as an excuse. The shooting was just bad tonight.
Yeah, it really was.
And that's credit to Jackson State's defense, but also there's no excuse for missing as many layups and tip-ins and putbacks as you have tonight.
Those need to be able to fall in, and it's kind of sad because these are some of the students, Roseanne and Dale, these are their final times playing the sport. You know, you think you would have left it all out the court, but they came in with a plan to get him into 4 fouls, so it kind of restrains him to play at the best of that when he wants to play.
If you look at the bright side for Bethune-Cookman, you can't really look at tonight.
Yeah.
But if you look at the whole season, the Wildcats for the second straight year will finish over 500. They'll finish 17-16 on the season. They're going to they got 13 regular season conference wins, their most since joining the SWAC back in 2021. They finished the highest that they ever have in the SWAC as the 3rd seed.
Yeah, and honestly, it's very exciting to see how far they've come. Really excited to see what the upcoming season is definitely going to bring as well, too. But right now, 3 minutes left in the game, it's not looking too good, Mike. And I hate to say it because I'm the optimistic one, and I always have hope, but I don't think I can find any right now.
65-47. That's 65-47, Jackson State with 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go. I would expect both teams to empty the benches here shortly and give some of those freshmen or fringe players some playing time. I may expect to see a Simeon Womack, a Trayvon Barbary in the game for the Wildcats. But again, the Wildcats got to the 3 seed mostly with an 8, 7, sometimes 6-man rotation this year because of all the injuries. And it's been a really good year for Wildcat men's basketball. Unfortunately, they just can't get over the semifinal hurdle. Willoughby at the free throw line, drives in, kicks to Thomas, left-hand corner, steps out of bounds, Jackson State ball.
Oh my gosh, turnover.
Yep.
Turnover.
13th. Only 5th turnover for the Wildcats tonight. I mean, I guess that's like the best thing about the game for the Wildcats. They haven't turned the ball over. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to get stops and they haven't been able to score, which is the 2 most important things in basketball.
Wow.
Wildcats pressure the inbounds pass and immediately foul. Seneca Willoughby reaches in on Ruffin, so that'll be a 1-and-1 as the Wildcats have 9 team fouls.
This is looking real familiar. Alcorn was doing the same thing to us around this time yesterday.
And trying to get back in the game. The Wildcats didn't lead Alcorn by as much as Jackson State leads us, 65-47, 18 points the margin. Again, the Wildcats.
And the first half of the game, which was honestly not surprising to me. Oh, thank you so much.
The Wildcats, if they don't score.
Is it a flagrant call?
No, I just think that the Wildcats don't really need to rebound. They've given up here.
Oh.
But if the Wildcats don't score 5 points, they will finish tonight's game with their lowest scoring total in SWAC competition this season. Their lowest was 53 at Southern in the 3rd game of SWAC play. They lost that one 69-53. That's the last time I can remember them getting absolutely torched like this. That was all the way back on January 13th.
Although I am really still proud of our boys. They put up a heck of a fight throughout here to get to the semifinals. We didn't have most of our players that we started with, you know. We only have 7 players.
They did call a tech on Trey Thomas, by the way.
Oh, it was a tech.
So a free throw made by Ruffin on the tech. Now 1-and-1 for Jackson State.
And he's not even in the game anymore. But, yeah, just like I said before, you know, they've played with almost 7 players this entire game, this entire playoffs. They have 10 altogether. We've had injuries all throughout the season. But they made it this far with what they had. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next semester, or next season.
All 3 free throws made for Ruffin off the 1-on-1 plus technical foul. 69-47 Jackson State, 3 minutes to go. Martin, jab step fakes the 3, drives all the way in. Layup, finger roll, no good. Tip in good by Martin, though.
Going to make sure that one came in.
Martin finally gets some points.
Yeah.
He had nothing in the game so far. Wildcats will full court press. Ruffin gets the inbounds pass, walks across the time stripe, 2:43 to go. He goes all the way in, nobody's in the paint. He misses the layup, and Ruzon takes the rebound. Ruzon the top scorer for the Wildcats in the game with 14. Freeman in the right corner takes a 3 over Ruffin, who got a piece of it.
Yep,
that's going to be a block on a 3 for Ruffin.
Jackson State going with, blowing. David Olanina about to check into the game.
Yep, and the bench is being emptied for Jackson State.
Oh,
Delisle Williams getting set to come in. Ebo Wilson. Marcus Watson Jr. as there's a foul called on a driving layup by Kevion Hunt that's no good.
I don't know, that's kind of just goes to toe to show you. They're getting some playing time for the last 2 minutes of the court.
And now the Wildcats will do the same. Jarrell Love's going to get set to check in. Brian Freeman picks up the foul on that driving layup, by the way, sending Kevion Hunt back to the stripe. Jackson State is 17 of 21 on free throws tonight. They have gone to the line 22, now 23, 24 times with these 2 shots coming for Hunt. It's hard to win a game when your opponent goes to the free throw line 24 times and makes most of them. And with how bad the Wildcats have been offensively today, there was no. The Wildcats came within 6 early on in the second half, about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's all been all Jackson State.
Played heck of a fight. They are Ruzon.
The 2 seniors are coming out. Jesus Carlero Martin and Daniel Ruzon step off a college basketball floor for the last time. Martin, a little bit teary-eyed over there. Ruzon goes and taps him on the shoulder. A lot of emotions over there. The second free throw is good by Hunt, and now the bench is empty for Jackson State.
They chilling now.
Coandrick Samuel comes in for Jackson State as well. 71-49. Jarrell Love's in for the Wildcats. Love just averaging 6 minutes a game this season. We haven't seen the 2 walk-ons yet, Simeon Womack or Trayvon Barbary, but wouldn't surprise me if they get in. 2 minutes to go. Down low, Onanino working on Ebo Wilson. Onanino hook shot too strong. Wilson is probably going to be the next Shannon Grant. He's 6'10" and about 300 pounds as well.
And they know how to pick him over there at Jackson State. Size, weight, and all they need is to add the mechanics to it.
We are going to see Trayvon Barbary come in for the Wildcats. He's at the table now. Jackson State turns it over on a bad pass inside Willoughby. Across, Kamara, a 3 from the left wing, no good. Jarrell Love with the rebound. Underneath, he lost the ball to Wilson. And Ebo Wilson takes it for Jackson State. He's double-teamed under the basket. He finds Delisle Williams, the sophomore out of Compton, California. And with 1:10 to go, Jackson State will just play small, 71-49, as the Wildcats have done nothing offensively tonight. Marcus Watson Jr. controls. The ball cycled to the right-hand corner. It's a long 2. It's no good for Wilson. Rebound. And the ball goes out of bounds. And Simeon Womack and Trayvon Barbary are going to come in as the Wildcats call timeout just to get their 2 walk-ons some playing time here in the SWAC tournament. For the second straight year, the Wildcats reach the SWAC semifinals on the men's side, and for the second straight year, they go out with a whimper instead of a roar. They got torched by Grambling State, the eventual champions last year up in Birmingham, and I can only describe what has happened this evening in Birmingham as a torching of the Wildcats by Jackson State. 71-49.
A pretty silent second half for us here.
A silent first half. They scored 24 points in the first half. They've got 25 points in the second half, the Wildcats. All the way in, around a screen goes Simeon Womack. He's going to go to the free throw line as a foul is going to be called on Delisle Williams. Womack, his first 2 college seasons at BCU as a walk-on, former DeLand High School standout. 14 points total over 2 seasons as he misses the first one. Back iron, front iron it out. As the Jackson State fans, who have been loud and proud over there behind their bench tonight, will sing their team into the finals in a game that was never really close. .40 seconds left, 71-49. Trayvon Barbary, the second of 2 free throws to make sure the Wildcats at least hit 50.
Please.
He missed it.
Nope.
He got it to go in off the front of the rim, and it's 71-50. The Wildcats still need 3 more points if they don't want their lowest total in the conference play this year. Jump ball called as Love and Coandrick Samuel went at it off the full court press. Jackson State will keep possession off the alternating possession. It's going to be a long bus ride back for Bethune-Cookman and us tomorrow morning. Watson dribbling against Trayvon Barbary. 10-second violation, by the way. Watson didn't get it into the front court, but I don't think that Jackson State cares. 30 seconds to go in the game. It's been as large as 22. And when you're at the end of the game losing by almost your largest margin, doesn't bode well for how the back half of the second half has gone. Simeon Womack gets a screen from Onanina, gets to the free throw line, finds Onanina underneath. He goes up, his layup hits the underside of the rim, and the rebound is grabbed by Wilson. That'll do it. 10 seconds left. The Wildcats will not foul as Jackson State goes into the front court. Your final score here from Atlanta: Bethune-Cookman 50, Jackson State 71, as the Wildcats post their lowest scoring total in conference play this season, their second lowest of the entire season, as they fall 71-50 in a game that I mentioned was never close. The Wildcats shot themselves out of it in the first half, making 2 out of 18 threes in the first half. They finished 3 of 26 from beyond the arc in the game and 25% overall from the floor. Here are your scoring totals. First for Bethune-Cookman, a really torrid night offensively. Daniel Ruzon had the most points. If Ruzon's having the most points, then it's not really good. 14 points, 14 points and 8 rebounds in his final collegiate game. Breon Freeman 11 points, Trey Thomas 9, Khalil Kamara 8, Onanina 4. Martin in his final collegiate game, Jesus Carlos Martin, just 2 points, but 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, led the Wildcats in all 3 of those categories. Willoughby 1, Womack 1. Love and Barbary did not score. Deshaun Ruffin for Jackson State was brilliant. 25 points, 9 of 18 shooting, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, 5 of 6 for the free throw line. Mitchell, 16 points. Grant, 10 points. Hunt, 9. Mansell, 8. McMillan, 3. That was the scoring for Jackson State. Credit to Mansell and Ruzon, who played most of the second half with 4 fouls and didn't spend much time on the bench. Team stats look like this. Bethune-Cookman actually out-rebounded Jackson State 44-43 and 20-5 on the offensive glass. We had 20 offensive rebounds. Second chance points, 12. 12 second chance points off of 20 offensive rebounds.
It just dials down to the lack of everything that we had yesterday, we didn't have today. Lack of non-efficient passes. Balls wasn't going in, the shots weren't going in. Getting bullied down in the paint, which honestly we were doing good the first half, but we just completely lost it the second half. Some of our high-scoring players just had an off game today.
Jackson State had 5 offensive rebounds and had 6 second chance points, by the way. Talk about efficiency.
Wow.
Wildcats had 10 assists, Jackson State 14 assists. Wildcats only turned the ball over 6 times, 11 points off 6 turnovers. Again, extremely efficient for Jackson State. The Wildcats forced 14 Jackson State turnovers, but only got 12 points off those 14 turnovers. Points to the paint favored Bethune-Cookman actually 30-26, and second chance points favored the Wildcats 12-6. Shooting percentage, oh my goodness, I can't believe I gotta have to read these numbers.
I really don't even want to hear them.
For Bethune-Cookman, 20 of 79.
Wow.
79 shots they took, and they hit 20 of them. 25.3%, and it gets worse. 3 of 26 from beyond the arc, 11%. They were 70% on free throws. That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Jackson State, 45% from the floor, 61% from 3, 8 of 13, and 19 of 23 from the free throw line. Just ruthless efficiency from Jackson State tonight, and the Wildcats had no answer on the other side of the floor. Once again, the Wildcats finished their season. They finished with an overall record in the positives for the second year in a row, 17-16. Their best ever conference mark, 13-5 in the regular season. And they got the 3 seed coming into the tournament. And we knew coming in, they got the toughest run of any team.
The hardest one.
We had Alcorn, who beat us twice, and Jackson State, who beat us twice in the quarterfinals and semifinals. 4 of our 5 regular season losses were accounted for in the teams we had to play in the tournament. And I mean, call it unlucky, call it whatever you want. But the Wildcats couldn't get it done tonight.
Nope.
And in spectacular fashion as they fall 71-50 here at the Gateway Center Arena in Atlanta. As always, when we come to end of sports seasons, there are plenty of people to thank. And I will spend the final minute or so of this broadcast thanking as many of them as possible. First off, I want to shout out the seniors, and I always get teary-eyed when I do this.
Oh, God.
Jesus Carvalero-Martin and Daniel Ruzon, in my opinion, maybe not the 2 flashiest players.
Yeah.
Maybe not the 2 players that got you the most points, but the 2 best, most level-headed players you could go to in a pinch. Jesus Carvalero-Martin, that 3 at the buzzer to beat FAMU the final day of the regular season, that will live in my memory forever. That will live in Wildcats Nation's memory forever. He became a fan favorite over the year. Ruzon with his play down low, one of the best bigs in the SWAC. Those 2 poured their heart out on the floor. It just didn't happen tonight. I mean, Ruzon fought for every inch. He was the top scorer for the Wildcats tonight.
Give Mike a second, you guys.
Excuse me.
Take your time, buddy.
Man, really bad frog in my throat there. I apologize. Sabrina, talk about the seniors for a second while I get some water.
Ruzan is somebody that came in, we really didn't, I don't want to say we didn't expect much, but we did not expect him to be one of our key players to take us as far as the semifinals into the SWAC playoffs. Jesus Carvalero-Martin is our Swiss Army knife, our Spaniard Swiss Army knife, as Mark usually calls it. Has been there for everything to clean up our messes, actually. If there's a rebound, make sure to tip it in. He's just always all over the place, and as Mike compares him to Ajane, one of the girls' basketball team who just literally sacrifices their body for the betterment of the game. It's definitely heartbreaking to see these 2 players who only gave us a year, but gave so much to make us come to the semifinals. I wish them all the best.
We know there's pro basketball in the future of Jesus Martin, who goes back to his native Spain after finishing the school year. We hope that Ruzon can maybe find some opportunities as well. There are so many people to thank in administration. Scott Summer and George Bright, our senior associate ADs, they put us in position both financially and with equipment and everything that we need to make the broadcast the best in the SWAC. We appreciate them and their time and their efforts so much. Brian Harvey, who does statistics for all of our home games. He's back in Daytona Beach covering baseball and softball this week. Couldn't be here with us. Autumn Sander, head of social media. And, of course, Bryce Reinowski, head of sports information here at Bethune-Cookman. Without those 3 people, nobody's jobs would be possible. I wouldn't have a job. Sabrina wouldn't have a job. So those 3 are the best media team in the SWAC. We were named best media team in the SWAC last year by the conference office. We should be named best media team in the SWAC. Again, this year there is nobody that is close. Nobody that puts in more hours and creates more content than those 3. I have to shout out all the CatEye students that made the CatEye Network broadcast of Bethune-Cookman basketball this year the best it's ever been. Yeah. And remember, 99% of everything you see on the CatEye Network, be that socials or the broadcast, is student-driven. We got students producing. We got students behind the cameras. We've got students on air.
Yeah.
We've got students doing video content behind the scenes and doing interviews and all those sorts of things. That we try at Bethune-Cookman with the CatEye Network to empower our students to gain experience in the industry and to aspire to go beyond Bethune-Cookman. We saw Henson do it. Now he's at Florida State. So let's go through all of those. TJ White, who jumped on a couple of games with me on color. Well, Sabrina, you had some life stuff going on, so shout out to GJ. Raphael Charles, Kalia Lee, Talise Blackwell, Carmen Hodges, Califani Caldwell. Shout out Producer Lee. Producer Lee Gillum III has been our producer for probably 90% of the games we've done on the CatEye Network this year. He's going to continue with us through the baseball season. He's been awesome. Of course, Sabrina, couldn't do this without you.
So happy to be here. I love y'all, for real, because I wouldn't have a chance to really just expand what I have, my little talents that I have, you know, in a greater scale.
So for all of us here at BCU Athletics, thank you so much for spending your time, your energy, your effort to cheering on the Wildcats all basketball season long. I already look forward to getting back in more gymnasium in November for more Wildcat basketball. We got a lot to get through before then. We got baseball and softball, and of course football and volleyball in the fall. But I will be as ready as anybody to just get right back to the hardwood next year.
Yeah, there's nothing like basketball season in more gymnasium, and it's honestly, truly an amazing feeling. You guys have to come down to the Daytona Beach so you guys can get a little bit of that energy if you're listening from far away as well too.
Once again, the Wildcats men's basketball team ends their season tonight. They fall to Jackson State in the semifinals of the Southwestern Athletic Conference Tournament, 71-50 here tonight in a game that, well, was billed as a heavyweight clash, and really only one heavyweight showed up. Jackson State outplayed us all night long.
It's as simple as that. Wasn't the easiest pick of the draw, but we prevailed to the semifinals regardless.
For all of us here at the CatEye Network, my name is Michael Torillo. Thank you so much for listening today, this week at the SWAC tournament, and all season long. We'll be right back on your network tomorrow for baseball with Kenny Scherlinger on the call. I'll be back next week covering baseball and softball as well. My name is Michael Torillo. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
And hail Wildcats.